And why don't you give us a quick recap of last time?
Started with a magical introduction of the group as Tabula Rasa, which caused Donnie to get quite angry since our proper name is Tabula Rasa and the Table Smashers. Smarty Pants interrupted Donnie's diligent studying in the library to let us know that the devil had shown up, or I mean imp, had shown up to let us know that everybody was in trouble and we needed to go save them. So we rounded up a couple people. Sorry, I was misreading. Rounded some folks up. And start heading back to I can't even remember the name of the place. Forgot to write it down. The Thieves Guild. I can't remember. Was that the place?
I mean, it was a blood hand
Yeah,
hideout.
blood hand.
Speakeasy.
Hangout. So we were after we arrived there, the door was took a little trouble to figure out how to get through. The devil not giving us great advice or support on actually getting in, but once we figured our way in, we found Neil there and our companions. We spent some time reminiscing and going about ongoings and acquiring some potion. Talked a little bit about tuning forks and kind of how do we go about getting it. Decided to go our separate ways and started heading back to the library. The old lady did a great job of conjuring up some bears for travel, which made Donnie very happy. Neil and Beldani started to hit it off, so to speak. Back in the library, Donnie found a book that he was quite interested in. Old lady came back in and started doing some research on paladins and various things. The only notes I had for Theo was that he works, and continues to works. At the end, Donnie was very focused on getting this book out and was starting to hit on Vivian, the naughty librarian, after getting Smarty Pants' aunt.
Naughty librarian?
Yeah, that's what Donnie wrote.
Fair
down.
enough.
Yeah.
Which I have a picture for.
Wishful thinking.
Unless you spelled it with a K-N.
There you go.
Oh wow, she's gonna kill you in your sleep.
Yeah.
Murder.
Maybe. So Donnie got the permission of Azalea's aunt to check out the book that he was interested in. Ivor was talked many times about doing secret research, and its many secrets were had. Beldani goes to visit Theo, sneaking in various forms, and multiple hijinks ensues as he sneaks through the Theo's workspace area and managed to avoid getting arrested. My last note there was maybe, as I think there was still some question as to had Beldani and Theo had Theo excused Beldani's behavior sufficiently, or if we were going to have to rescue someone.
Oh, if they asked, Theo said that he challenged him, made a bet for 50 gold that he couldn't get in here, and then they really need to beef up their security. It was just a test on the security, and you failed.
Yeah, which I think that is about where we left.
It was all in service to the guild, of course.
Exactly.
So yeah, it is the 47th of fall at 2 p.m. You were
First day after we arrived, so we've had one long rest in between, or is this the third day, or the second day rather?
No, we're on third day.
Yeah, I think you've been here 3 days now.
Sounds like right.
So, so we arrived the first day and we did some research, and then yesterday was the day that Beldani and Neil went on their date, right? And so now it's the morning of the third day?
Well, it's I think the afternoon. It's like 2 o'clock. Because I think Theo was doing some work, and then Beldani broke in, and there was some hijinks throughout the day.
So we're towards the end of the third day.
Well, like middle of. It's about middle, 2 o'clock.
Yeah. I don't think the whole team has accounted for their whereabouts on that day.
Ivor has been kind of sneaking around and sneaking.
Reading some stuff.
Or what did we settle on? Like, Very, it's not sneaking. What did we call it?
Skulking.
Skulking. Very high class skulking.
Academically, yeah.
Jack
yeah.
the Ripper skulking.
Yeah,
Thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think.
Oh, wow, Donnie's girlfriend is a babe.
All right. Yeah, Donnie's been chatting up librarians. Who haven't we accounted for? I
know that on the first day I researched the Shadow File. No. I just know that I only got two things on my list. So, but if there have been 3 days, then there's a day of research that's been accounted for on my part.
Well, I think also I'm gonna. Sorry, go ahead.
I think you wanted me to go and talk. I was gonna source spells that day, is what it was.
So, yeah, I think, and we were also gonna push some of these activities back to a longer amount of time, for like research and such. It probably wouldn't just take a day for. I'll say for now, like the things we've done, we can say only took a couple of days, but for some of the things moving forward, it'll probably take more time.
Well, Betha went to the Order of Pelor, the Cathedral of Pelor, the first day, and found the list of names. And then, like that night, after we left the Bloodhand, after we left Neil, while Donnie was having his date, Donnie and Zalia and Betha went back to the Phoenix Guild Library and did some more research. But I don't think Betha has done anything more than that first day.
So Betha's kind of been hanging out. She did some research the first day. What else would you want her to do?
For at least one day, I think she would like to just scour the city for all like apothecary shops, and see what kind of like potions or like might be available to purchase. And I'm not looking for like the really, really expensive ones. I'm just trying to, augment our stash of the cheaper ones that, maybe than I would be able to make in the time that we're here.
The only potions you'd find for sale in the general marketplace would be the potions of healing, the common ones.
That's exactly what I'm looking for. Like, what kind of numbers, like, are we talking about? Like, quantity-wise, what I find?
So you spent a day looking around, and these aren't too hard to find. I'll say there are about 20 available for purchase at 50 gold pieces each.
At 50. Okay.
How much are common to make? It's
Same.
just time investment. Okay, yeah, then.
Yeah. Obviously, the greater ones start to get really expensive. So if we wanted like a nice like buffer of potions stashed away, then I thought the 50 gold ones, if we can find some to buy, might be worth
smart
it.
To keep, so you can
So
get
wait, are the common ones 50 gold pieces to make?
I think they're 25 to make.
Yeah, I think they're cheaper actually if you want to spend time brewing them.
Yeah, but with time frame to make that, it's insane. Whenever it's just 25 gold.
Yeah, for sure. Like if you want to spend your time on other things, it would make sense.
No, Lou, if you wanted to reduce the time on making healing potions, Artificer's ability does not interact with healing potions whatsoever because it's an herbalism kit.
Okay, gotcha. Here, let me.
So, there was something in the chat earlier that you were going with the week crafting rules or something like that. I was just skimming the chats just before we started today, so now I'm not sure, again, what the rules are. Like, can Betha be churning out potions these weeks that we're here, or not?
I'm actually looking that up right now. I mean, she certainly can be, because I think we're going to do some downtime now, so let me see what it would cost. So...
I just sent a link for the Potion of Healing creation table.
Oh, okay.
Do potions of healing have a separate area from the normal potions?
Yes.
Okay.
They're their own specific thing. That's why I don't know about them too much.
Gotcha.
Yeah, Like a regular
uncommon
potion takes a work week.
Yeah, so a healing potion takes a day and costs 25, is what this is telling me. So it is cheaper to make them, but it does take a day to brew it.
Okay, that's doable then. I mean, that's why I haven't been crafting, because like it seemed like some of the rule changes. It seemed like I had to like spend a week on just a simple, and so I.
So
could I make Betha some so she can make a couple common a day instead of just one a day?
It would probably still only be one a day, but I mean, 7 healing potions for a week is a good amount of healing potions.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, true. I
mean, that would be if you spent your whole time here making healing potions, that would be what? 7 times 5, 35 healing.
We don't need that many. Yeah.
Assuming you had enough. You could also greater healing takes a work week, so you could spend a week and make a bigger one. A superior is 3 work weeks, which isn't terrible. That's still I mean, the superior healing potion is really powerful. Yeah, these times are fairly reasonable.
What about I think the other thing we were talking about was potions of protection, necrotic or resistance.
Yes, potions of necrotic resistance. They're uncommon and amazing.
Yeah.
So could they craft those in a day?
No, those.
Okay, how long?
Those would go under normal potion making rules, which are consumable, so it is reduced cost.
Yeah, so that would be 1d6 times 100, and it would take, I believe, a week, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Going by Xanathars, it's a week for uncommon, 5 weeks for rare, and 12 weeks for very rare.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're halved because they're consumables, but.
All right. I don't want to spend a ton of our game time talking about this stuff. Like, I guess I could have done that.
Oh no, this is the perfect. You can talk about it.
I think that I will definitely want to craft some potions of necrotic resistance for us to have on hand before we go to the Shadowfell.
Okay.
I was also wondering if any of the apothecaries might actually consider employing Betha these 5 weeks and giving maybe a discount on, or something where I could, I don't know, barter my skills and time.
So at this point, like I would rather discuss that out of game, because that is gonna take me some time to figure out how that would affect prices. So,
sure.
At this point,
I didn't mean to spring it on you. Yeah, sorry. I just really haven't been online like much.
Yeah, that's okay.
Week, so yeah.
So at this point, I'd say we probably just want to go by what the Xanathar lists are here.
That's fine. I have less specific and long time planned out ideas than some of the other characters with what to do with downtime. So I was just kind of thinking, what could I do to?
Well, if you want to start on some necrotic resistance, they take 2 weeks to make per, so that would be amazing to get a start on.
Yeah. 2 weeks per, not 1 week.
For you, it's 2 weeks. It's 1 week for me.
Oh, gotcha.
No, it would be 1 week for.
Is it reduced time too? I thought it was just reduced cost.
No, reduced time and cost for.
Yeah, because they're both starred, so yeah, that would be reduced time and cost.
Okay, and that would just be 8-hour days, right?
Yeah, well, it'll just be a week passes, because I'm just going to pass the 5 weeks, have some events happen, and at the end...
right, but what I meant was she still might have time to do other social things or shopping or whatever. She's not, like, doing it
as long as it's not doing other downtime things. You can't do other downtime things. You could do, like, interactions or, like, RP, but you can't, like, you know, search for magical items and do your potion craft.
All right,
so if you can't craft and then do research in the library that's a few rooms down?
I would say probably not. That's more of a mechanical limitation, because you're not supposed to be able to do too much with the time. But you could have maybe other people do some research.
All right, I'm gonna make this simple. Betha's if we have the ingredients, Betha will make 5 potions of necrotic resistance during our 5 weeks.
Okay.
Is that acceptable?
Yeah. So do you need the amounts for that? Like what you have to spend? So let's see. That's gonna be... Oh, I just closed it. Damn it. Hang on.
I think for uncommon,
so
it was 100 gold per potion.
Yeah, 100 gold per potion, and so you could make 5 of them in 5 weeks.
All right, so Zalia, do we have?
You can either use gold or you can use rare herbs.
I don't think we have
or,
rare herbs. We do
nature components.
We have nature components. We have how much gold do you need in nature components?
500 if we have it.
500? Yeah, we definitely have that. We
okay,
have,
that's what
I lied. We have alchemical reagents. Shouldn't those be able to work as well?
Sure, you can use those as well. That's fine.
Yeah, because Betha is both an herbalist and an alchemist.
Yeah, so I'll remove 500 G of our alchemical reagents.
All right, then that's what Betha will work on.
All right,
and
so
should I add necrotic
potions? Don't add those yet. We'll add them at the end of the downtime. Not that I think anything's going to interrupt it, but yeah, we'll add it once we finish that.
Well, for every 5 weeks spent on a downtime activity, complication can arise.
Yeah, right. and that's why, because there might be some things that happen.
And I will let the group know, like, Betha would still, at some point, just kind of tour the town. That's not downtime, right? Going shopping?
No, if you're just shopping for normal things, you can do that during the time.
She will let the group know that they're... Sorry?
I shouldn't remove our reagents then. If something can go wrong, then...
Yeah, so just keep those in the ready, and at the end, we'll pay those.
I'll just write it up down on the side.
Yeah, just so we have it ready.
And I'll let the group know that if we wanted to stock up on healing potions, which apothecaries have some, because I didn't want to just buy them until the group kind of decided if we wanted that. So
okay,
we can go back maybe.
So a lot of and Theo, a lot of the recipes, or at least some of the recipes, like the ones I sent you, you would be able to get without doing research from people at the Artisans Guild, so you don't have to worry about researching those. But do you know what your... I guess I'll go down the line. So Betha, you're working on that. I'm just going to get these all planned, and then once the time passes, we can say they happen. Zalia, do you know what you're working on for the 5 weeks?
Well, I would like to discuss with the group. Sure. I do have an idea of it. So I have enough of my own components that so with the gold that I got from the dragon, I bought magic link and stuff. So I have enough components to copy over everything but the wall of stone, and then to make some spell scrolls, 4 second level spell scrolls and 1 third level spell scroll. But to buy the actual, particularly the legend lore, to buy the actual spells, I would need to remove 3,000 gold from party funds. So maybe we should just figure out what everyone wants to spend in party funds and then sort it out from there. But that would
I'm perfectly happy to have you spend the money for legend lore, given that Belle is very curious to know more about his dagger and Donnie's axe. So,
Domax.
So I'll put a pin in that one. So if I do that, then it would take me 4.25 days and 850 G in my components to copy those spells, and then to create the scrolls, it would take me 4 weeks and 3 days. So a little more than 5 weeks to create 4 Scorching Ray and 1 Fireball scroll.
And that's using the Xanathar rules?
Correct.
Okay, cool. So that's fine then.
Is that all 6 of those spells that were listed in the chat, like the Wall of Stone as well?
Not the Wall of Stone.
We dropped that one off. Okay. I definitely think Legend Lore is worth it.
Yeah. One question for you. I couldn't find in the Xanathar's Guide, and David, you might know the answer to this also because you're smart about these things, but evocation spells, I know they cost me half the cost to copy into my book. Do they cost me half the cost to copy out of my book?
I don't know. I don't know that there's anything rules that's written about that.
I know that when you are making a backup book, it does. So I would assume so.
When you say copy out of your book, what do you mean? Like to do what?
Make a scroll?
To cost me a certain amount, but if it's in my school of magic, it's half. and I want to know if it's also have to copy onto a scroll out of my book. It feels like it should be.
It is snippet incoming. This is just from the entry for wizard from the PHP. Yeet, yeet, yeet. So the section about replacing the book says you can copy a spell from your own spellbook into another book. For example, if you want to make a backup of your spellbook, but it doesn't have to be that. So if you are copying the spell, it is actually not even half, but 1 hour and only 10 gold pieces for each level.
Wow.
To copy from your spellbook to what?
To another spellbook? Or...
To anything, really. Yeah, either a book or a scroll.
Oh, so like another one of your spellbooks, you mean? Like if you have multiple spellbooks?
I mean, it does say
Do
spellbook.
Anything that involves parchment.
So the one thing to keep in mind, from what I remember, you cannot use other wizard spellbooks. You have to translate those spells from like their spellbook to your spellbook. So you
could. I'm making scrolls to use for myself.
Yeah, I guess technically, because you're at that point, you're making magic items, not
because scrolls are different from spellbooks. Because they have
scrolls have their own section.
They have the magic infused in the actual paper, which is why you don't use spell slots. So I don't think the scroll cost is reduced. It's only if you're making like backup spell books and such.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's me done then.
Okay.
If we spend more time here than 5 weeks, I will make more scrolls.
All right. Well, let's go through that first. Theo, you got a bunch of stuff planned, I know. Right?
Yes.
Okay. So you already calculated what you're doing with the 5 weeks?
Hell no.
Oh.
Still need a whole lot more recipes and stuff to properly plan out the 5 weeks, because with the 4 cloaks of protection and a rod of the pack keeper, it's 17.5 days plus the half day I have left on my armor. There's 18, so still got a bit of time left. I do have a dinner I'm supposed to go to, and I gotta work in research time too, because I can't read books the same day as crafting.
Alright, so Donnie, you kind of sent me what you were planning to do already, right? Do we lose Donnie?
Gray, are you muted?
Oh, is he?
Yeah. Sorry, I had my headphones up. Yeah, I sent you something basically just looking for some magical objects, reading the books, and maybe getting into a fight or two, if time permits.
All right. Bill, Donnie, do you have any plans?
I want to make any more poison that I can from the ingredients that we have. Theo and I are supposed to work to reverse engineer the drow poison.
Okay.
Yes. Wait, with me needing a half day on my armor, can I put the other half into helping Belle?
Yeah, so the poison is probably going to be a week to look into, I think. Because it's not specifically something listed in downtime, but most things in here go by weeks, so I might say it's like research, which takes a week.
Would it count as crafting an item?
I mean, maybe more like brewing a potion. Be closer to.
That would make sense. And we also have the cave moss to turn into some kind of crazy poison, but need to give Lou more time on thinking about what that poison's going to do.
Yeah, and Ivor, you're all set, right? We kind of talked about what you're doing.
Well, certainly for 3 weeks. Well, yes, because beyond, I mean, I have basically my intention is to spend, more or less all the time researching, and I think we have a pretty good idea of what the first 3 weeks would consist of. The 4th week and the 5th week would be just anything else that I can find consistent with.
Were you gonna try to sell our stuff? Because we talked about having me teleport back and get our stuff from Alira.
We could try that.
If you go back, I would like to go and get Arda, maybe.
Yeah, so I mean, I could do that pretty close on to the beginning of this venture. That way, toward the end of it, if you wanted to try to sell our stuff, and then we'd have all of Monty's materials.
And apologies, I am still kind of new to the downtime activity thing, as no one has really been using them, so this might take a little bit longer. But does it say how long it takes for a complication roll? It just says
I think it's around 5 weeks is whenever it increases, and before that they don't really say shit. So
does it
DM
say
discretion
that somewhere?
It depends on what the downtime is. Like
Yeah, so for example,
first-
research, every work week spent in research has a 10% chance of a complication. And
does it say that separately under each thing?
Yeah,
it might.
Okay.
It's for scribing a spell scroll. It's also 10% per work week.
I think
complication.
I think it's probably
I'm getting flashbacks to like second edition tables. I feel like I'm looking for the different tables now. All right.
Yeah. I think it might be 10% per week for pretty much anything.
Okay.
Well, like training, it's 10% per 10 work weeks. For training.
My plan, my plan was I would go through each of you, look and see if complications happen, and then since the group would kind of be like sort of together as this is all happening, and give you guys a chance to respond as a party to each of these things. How does that sound?
Sure.
Okay.
Whatever makes it streamlined for you.
Yeah, it's kind of uncharted territory for some of this, so
With the magic item crafting, your tools can be stolen. My tools are a magic item that stays on me at all times. There's be crazy shit to happen before my tools get stolen.
Brag.
I want his.
No, it's that was my starting item. If it gets stolen, I am going to blow shit up.
I want it stolen. I want it stolen.
Yeah,
I will.
Donnie steals it. Donnie, you son of a bitch.
I was going to say, let me make a sleight of
PvP
hand
starts.
check.
All right. So yeah, there could be complications or some events happening during this time. Are you taking anyone to your dinner with you, Theo, to speak with the artificer? Or is it just going to be you there?
To stay in character, Theo wouldn't think about bringing anybody else. Unless Belle was like... Belle is literally the only person who knows.
Yeah,
and by the
'cause
time he
stole
gets
his
back
letter.
to y'all and stuff, there's no chance.
Yes, there is. It wasn't that night.
Yeah.
Yes, it was.
Was it that night? I thought it was.
I thought it was.
I don't think it was. I think he just wanted to have dinner with you.
Yeah, that's true. I think he did mention that he wanted to arrange a dinner. He didn't say when. So he was kind of assuming you'd get back to him on the, when you were free.
Word gets to Zelia on it. She's going to want to A, encourage you to invite Ivor to go along, and B, cast Enhance Ability on somebody before they go.
Betha could also lend another Enhance Ability.
I was going to say, Theo, if you want someone to die, I'd be happy to accompany you. But if you're looking for charm, I think Ivor's a better bet.
I would also transfer Nettle into a spider and put him into your shoulder.
All right, so let's talk about this first week of downtime. Betha, you said you were brewing, right?
Yeah.
All right, so let me go look at potions. Scroll. No, not magical and trade. All right. So 10% chance for every 5. All right. Well, I guess
10% chance for what?
For every 5 work weeks. So I guess this creation doesn't have 5 work weeks. So I think that means it would just happen.
Okay.
All right. Yeah.
Yep,
So I think
week,
yours is easy. So you could say you created a potion at the end of the week. So you can add a minus the ingredients and add your potion. So you're easy. You got yours done. I'm not going to pass the 7 days just yet, but we'll say that is going to happen.
Sure. All right. So that's 100 gold and plus a potion minus 100 gold, right?
Yeah. Zalia, your first week, what were you doing?
Copying the spell scrolls from the folks that have put me in touch with.
Okay, so scribing spells if that's all you're doing.
I already did the math on it. It's 4.25 days.
Okay. Anything else you're doing during that first week?
No, all my time is taken up with scribing. I'm just gonna have ink on my fingers and writer's cramp.
Yep, Zalia is hard at work. Alright, so it's hard doing everything at the same time because if something happens during those days, I don't know if you'd have your spells ready or not. Alright, well, I'll just say these days are passing. Theo, what were you doing during your first week?
First week,
I know, sorry, this is a bit of repeating. I'm just now actually doing it.
Is this week including the 2 days that have passed so far?
No, this would be from the current date, which is the...
Oh, fuck yeah!
47th
I can fit in
of
so
fall.
much shit now! I was just wondering if I lost 2 days because of working on armor or not. So...
I gave you a freebie.
First day is gonna... Or wait, that's a week to help Belle. So... Belle, if you're okay with waiting a bit for me to get some done during this first week, and then next week I can spin with you on poison. First week, finish up the armor, which is only a half day. Spend the other half trying to look up some stuff about boats or how to make things fly, because airship. And then...
So the airship would probably go under research, which would be a week.
Damn! Can't spend a half day on it. Alright, then he gets to go to his room for half the day and has panic attacks about the finger of death, and she's still trying to process that whole situation. It was a situation of he came a breath away from being zombified and stuff. That would have some lasting implications.
He was fully dead.
It's true.
Full on.
Probably would have some
Really most sincerely
PTSD from that.
Yeah, so he gets a half day of he's not keeping himself busy, so he has a full meltdown for that half day. Then gonna pick it back up. I can fit in one cloak of protection, but I'm not cloak of protection first. Can I see if I can sweet talk somebody into trading some essence for the bit I need to make Betha's bag of holding?
The Wraith Cloak?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because we would have gotten Wraith Cloak if that was an option whenever we were fighting Wraiths.
Yeah, that's fine. So you ask around a bit at the Artisans Guild. Give me a...
Who got Wraith Cloak? I'll stab you!
Give me a persuasion check. Let's see what kind of things you can find. You can have someone in the group help you with this if you want.
Anybody want to help?
I know someone who can help.
He can't persuade, but he can come intimidate.
He's probably skulking around somewhere.
What? You said this is happening during the week, though?
Yeah, this doesn't count towards downtime, though. This is like a side activity. So this is something that can be... Even though you're researching, like, you all can go talk to each other during the week and help each other out with these smaller projects.
Oh, come on, no talking during the week. This is like detention.
Everyone's stuck in their rooms just crafting. You just hear hammers banging.
And what is this for?
This is to help Theo find a Wraith's Cloak to craft a bag of holding.
I didn't do too bad.
All right, let's see how...
Got 17 on it. Damn, I did bad.
I just came in and showed you how it's done. All right, so there is only actually one Wraith Cloak you can find being sold, but it's only going for 100 gold pieces, so it's pretty cheap.
Oh, sweet.
Right, I'll add that to the list of things.
Can I trade them some essence for it?
Yeah. What type of essence are you looking to trade?
Give me just a tick real fast too.
Alchemical.
No, those are the most likely to get used out of our group.
Really?
Yes. Well, honestly, whenever it comes to potions, having a chance of those being an ingredient seems way higher than magic items needing them.
Okay, whatever. It's just that we have the most of them is the thing.
Oh, yeah, if we have the most of them, then yeah, can I trade 100 alchemical reagents?
Yes, the guy is happy to...
Arcane. Just do Arcane, actually. We have the most.
Arcane?
Mm-hmm.
All right, 100 Arcane.
Yeah, the guy is happy to trade 100 Arcane as well. So you can trade 100 Arcane for the Wraith Cloak
I'm keeping
thing.
track of all of this, you guys. And
All right, I
Sure, guys on
will...
the calculator.
Yep.
So I'll spend the time needed to craft that, and that still gives me like 2.5 days to play around with. So, panic attacks in my room.
Okay.
Is that for the first week?
Yeah, we're
Yes,
going through
that's
the first
downtime
week
for
right
first
now.
week. The dinner's gonna happen in that first week. It's just not a downtime activity.
Yeah, I'll get back to that as like a side activity. So that would be it for Theo for the first week. Donnie, now you said you were going to try to do more research on yourself.
So I think well, now that I have the book, like I think that first week I'd actually well, so if like a couple people are shopping, I'd try to tag along with them, and ideally I'd be looking for two things, and I sent you them in chat. One is any kind of magical bracer, belt, anything that doesn't count as armor, basically, that would enhance me. And then number two is Donnie would be asking around to see if anyone could either repair, very unlikely, or has available a Horn of Blasting.
Right, so this would kind of be under buying magical items, I think.
Yeah, probably.
I can't. You gotta spend a week on that in persuasion.
So let me look at buying magical items.
That's also to make random tables of magic items pop up. I don't think that's gonna quite fit. 1
work week of effort, 100 gold piece in expenses. And that does require persuasion checks. You might want to have Ivor.
Yeah, that's why I was saying I was tagging along with them when they were doing this.
Yeah? You're just gonna sneak in behind us?
Yeah.
Not even interact with us? Ask if you can come into my safe space?
Man's going through something.
We go to bars and tables and stuff. That's your domain. This is crafting land. No smashing allowed.
And the Horn of Blasting is wondrous.
Unless it's to test out if an item can withstand the smashing.
I mean, do you want to make a persuasion check and try? See what you find? It would cost you 100 gold pieces, though.
I am okay with that. I will spend the money if Ivor will be with me to help.
So
this is to find Horn of Blasting.
I think Ivor unfortunately can't do that because he's already working on the books.
That's fine.
Right.
Then I will attempt.
This is a week of
Yeah, this is during the week where you're researching.
If he comes in and begs me before he goes back, I will cast Enhance Ability on him.
That you can do if you want to get Enhance Ability from Zarya.
Well, he does have to come into here every day to try and buy the item, so every time he comes in, Theo has to be notified because he's Theo's guest. Theo's going to go and flash a genius him while he's persuading.
I'll give you
I got 30 feet, and they're used to doing magic in here.
I'll give you the persuasion advantage. I'm not going to give you Flash of Genius.
Since it's a week-long thing.
Yeah. So we'll say Zalia if you want to work with her.
Yeah, every time Donnie shows up at my table, I'll just cast it and make him go away again.
Yeah, if you want to do that, Gray.
Yep.
If you think that's something Donnie would do.
Yeah, I think he's going out. He's not ashamed to use Zalia's tricks to help him out. He knows he wants his Horn of Blasting. Damn it!
All right, and that is what you're going for, looking for the Horn of Blasting.
I'd say is it one specific thing, or can I just search for things in general? How does that work?
Technically, I think it's bringing up a bunch of magic items, and the amount of magic items is based on how good you do on charisma. But we should probably alter that with this being what it is.
Look at all these tables. What have I got?
I love them.
Yeah,
wait, where are these tables?
Lou, you did have a much more simplified version. It just let us do things.
Yeah, but then your artificer
then we
had to
did
be
things.
all weird.
Hey, I'm raw.
Oh no! I pressed the button and will not let me go back. What have I done? Is there a way to pop these windows out so that they're own separate windows?
Are you in D&D Beyond, or are you in your
Roll20?
Roll20? Yeah, that I don't know.
I'm pretty sure there is.
In Roll20, there should be the little button in the upper corner that lets you. Looks like the two screens.
Oh, yeah.
Pops
You
out
are completely right. I totally forgot about that. All right. I gotta.
Science.
So if I made these windows, I could use the back thing to go back and forth. So let me do that. So yeah, unfortunately, it doesn't look like, and this makes kind of sense. It doesn't look like you can kind of look for a specific item, but it has to be within like a certain table that you get, I believe.
Yeah, as I'm
right?
reading through this, it basically looks like I'm going to search, and then you're going to generate a list of items that I could potentially purchase. That seems like how
that's kind of what it seems like.
Yeah. I mean, I hope I haven't looked through all these tables, but I hope some of the items that I'm looking for are in some of these tables. But I'd assume they are.
All right, so what do we got? You know, that popping a window out did not help me at all because it's not giving me the stupid back option now. Damn it.
Well, the Horn of Blasting is on one of the tables. It's on Magic Table G. I will say that.
Okay, so... Sorry, one sec. I got lost again.
I'll start reading them all again religiously, so anytime you have a question, I get it.
All right.
Ooh, I just sent you a link in Discord.
All right, so give me a... So the check total, I believe, is the persuasion check, right?
I believe so, yeah.
All right, so give me the persuasion check with advantage.
Yep.
Let's see what kind of things you encounter your first week.
And you said 100 gold just for doing the search, correct?
Yes. So it costs you 100 gold to ask around the city, bribing and getting information. 16. So that is table D. So you can click on table D, and that will show you the different things that you would
Magic
probably...
item table D.
Yeah, so that you would find kind of around the...
oh, good, a prosthetic limb.
Yeah.
Potion of Healing Supreme's nothing to...
Yeah.
True.
You do still have to buy them, but this is the type of things that you would find through contacts at Theo's Guild, through contacts at the...
Portable hole.
Oh, a Guardian Emblem.
So here's a... I don't know...
Wait, which are available?
If you won't allow this, I'm okay with that.
Mm-hmm.
But what I would ask for you to consider as DM would be all of these spell scrolls. Would you be willing to, and again, I don't know, maybe give me an extra roll on another table or something like that for items, because this is very spell oriented.
So you could, I think if you do another week, you get a +1 to your check. So you could roll a different table.
Yep.
But it's supposed to take a long time. So, I mean, this is just what happens to be available in the city from your time this week. But over time, like, things can change. So more items might be, like, in the black market, or in Theo's place, or in the Phoenix Guild, Castle Nobles. This is just you talking to a ton of different people, is what this is supposed to represent.
Okay, well, I will look this over, and I will let you know if I purchase anything this week. How does that sound?
That works.
Okay, well, you can move over to someone else, and I just need to... I'm not as familiar with the lore of all of this stuff as I think some of my fellow players are, so I have to read some of these to know what they do.
No worries. I don't even know what half these freaking things do.
The marvelous pigments
sharpness. It's like, how can oil be sharp? Like, those two things are mutually
I think it makes your item really sharp if you rub it on your weapons. But Beldani, what are you doing for this first week?
Well, we don't have any... I don't think we have any more poison reagents in the party inventory. So, other than poison making, I'm gonna spend my time trying to make the money back that I owe Betha.
Are you gonna be thieving? I think there is a thieving option.
I'm trying to decide if I'm going
you could
to.
bet on Donnie in the.
I'm trying to decide if I'm gonna go work, do legitimate,
You going
lucrative
straight?
work of actually just dancing for money.
There you go.
Or if I'm gonna.
I mean,
rob
the Blood
someone
Hand would
wealthy.
probably give you a job if you asked them.
That would
I don't
probably
know
be.
if you're really going to want to get in with them any tighter, but
I mean, that would probably be under criminal activities, which I think is a downtime thing you can do. Yeah, crime.
Oh yeah,
It is.
So you can go crime it up.
I think I'm gonna spend the week researching who would make a good mark, who's the wealthiest in town, and find something if there's worth stealing.
Oh, all right. So kind of research into crime to maybe give yourself a better chance of being successful. Is that your plan?
Yes.
All right. So let me check research again. Scrolling up, research.
Well, I think with crime it says you spend the first week researching.
Oh, is that something in crime?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. See, you guys are teaching me on this. I'm like, what the hell is all this stuff? All right. Crime. Okay, yeah. It must spend 1 week and at least 25 gold pieces kind of planning your heist. Got it. All the checks. Alright, so you're spending the week in 25 gold for this first week?
Yes, absolutely. So let me mark up the 25 gold. Hopefully I will make my money back. Because I need to pay Betha back.
I'm gonna pay Betha back. Did you have a
honestly,
question?
I'm not even sure she realizes the gold is gone.
It's just taking money from Betha. You say, sorry, Donnie, you said you needed something on potion costs?
Yeah, I was just wondering, like, if I just even to know how much I should be spending here. I don't even know relative how much each of these
I went AFK
cost.
for a bit. Did you spend any money out of the party treasury, Donnie, on what you're doing?
No, nothing. I've only spent my own money so far.
Okay.
Alright, magical item price. So the prices are listed below those tables. What item were you interested in?
I was kind of more all of them I was kind of curious about.
So it depends on the rarity.
Yeah.
If there's a certain one you want, I can check the rarity and make a roll to see what type of price it's going to be. Because you can buy, I think, one thing off the list.
So let me look.
All right, and Ivor, you're doing the research, right?
Correct. I will probably proceed in the order that we had talked about already. I did send you a message later about an idea that I had for things in like the fourth week, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there.
All right, let me check your message. Okay, got it. All right, so I kind of have an idea of what everyone did for the first week. Donnie, did you decide on the item you were buying?
I would like the cost on a couple different items just to know which one I might be buying.
Sure.
One is the Bag of Devouring, which is a wondrous item, very rare.
Oh, jeez. All right.
You fucked up now.
One of my groups, I think, has one of these.
Honestly, I'm thinking.
Yeah, Monday. Although we sold it.
If fucking what's his bucket is still alive, this would be a good solution for him.
So it's going to cost you. Oh, actually, it's fairly cheap. 20,000 gold pieces.
Oh,
Jesus Christ!
That's a very rare.
It is very rare.
Yeah, very rare.
Once you go over rare, you're like paying for castles, basically.
Yeah.
See,
So then it's 3 potions that, again, I'm curious, and actually all of them are very rare. So it's Potion of Cloud Giant Strength, Potion of Speed, and the Oil of Sharpness.
Donnie like sees the Lamborghinis. He's like, I want those. How much for those? He's like, I don't want these little potions. I want the big ones.
Well, honestly, that if you guys look at that treasure list, like almost all of them are actually, like, that's a good table. Like, I don't think anything is less than rare.
All right. Well, the
wait,
good
where
thing
is the list that popped up? I never saw
See,
it.
when I search
it was,
in the
D.
Roll20 compendium for buying magic, and it pops up an article, downtime activities, buying magic items, and I clicked on the thing for list D, I see a very, very different list. Then when I go into D&D Beyond, I search for buying magic items, and I click for list D. It's a completely different list.
Weird.
Really? Probably.
Well, I'm just going off what I see in the Roll20 here. So you said all of them are very rare, Donnie?
In D, yeah.
All the potions you mentioned, you said are very rare.
Yeah, all the potions I mentioned are very rare.
So those are half price because they're consumable.
Okay. So 10,000?
So, well, I have to roll for them. So, first one you said Cloud Giant Strength?
Cloud of Giant Strength, yep.
That one is going for 20,000.
Okay. Cheap.
Surely.
Next one?
Potion of Speed, very rare.
That one's only going for 10,000.
Okay, it's the one I'm least interested in.
Magic item D, right?
Oil of Sharpness, very rare.
That one is going for 20,000 as well.
Yeah, I can't afford any of this shit.
Donnie's like, this is all.
There's a deck of many things.
Again, that was
Absolutely
not
not.
on.
Absolutely not.
If anybody should get that, it's Gray.
Who'd
Thank
put
you.
that? All right. Well, anyway, anything else you were interested in?
Not today.
Not
no.
common
Well,
or uncommon?
actually, I'll ask since I wasn't going to buy it, but after seeing all of that, Donnie would say, "Well, what about the Potion of Healing?" And it's a superior.
What rarity?
Rare only.
Okay.
There's a Dragon Slayer.
Oh, sorry, Supreme is very rare. I don't know why I said rare.
Well. Well, that's going to be another 10,000. No, wait, that's a healing potion, though.
It is a healing potion.
Let me go. I don't think it... Well, it's weird because it doesn't have separate prices for... I'll say that one is 500.
I'm not going to blow all of my money on it, so no.
Okay.
Meanwhile, he just walks right by the scrolls and magic pigments, but okay, I'm in the library.
Sorry.
No, stupid scrolls.
I did read the magic pigments. It didn't seem that
The
great.
magic pigments, though,
What? You literally can paint anything.
but they're probably also going to be like 20,000 gold. So.
I know.
Yeah, I mean that's a very it's going to be 20,000 also. So
That's the only
yeah,
thing
20,000 to create items that can't be worth more than 25 gold pieces.
Yeah, I mean, for the very rare stuff, that's probably in the collections of some of the higher noble houses. So yeah, they're basically... Or go ahead.
It's about painting like windows and doors and stuff.
Ammunition +3.
Okay.
That is obscene.
So yeah, Donnie, he spent his money, but he hasn't really come upon anything that...
Too good of items. I didn't want to find items worth that much. I want to find cheaper items.
How much is the portable hole as a rare?
Portable hole is... Oh, you talking about the hole or the devouring one?
No, on that list there's a
Portable hole was also on the list. I was just not interested.
I thought that was uncommon. Is it rare?
It's
it is
rare.
rare. Yeah, it is listed as rare.
Oh. I thought crafting it was uncommon.
Nope.
It is listed as a rare item. I don't know.
Bag
about
of Holding
that.
is the uncommon.
Oh, right. Sorry. Yep.
Yeah,
No,
the
that
haversack is also rare.
That is...
Which it really shouldn't be.
Yeah, that is my mistake. No, yeah, you're right. Portable hole is rare. That is a very good one. Bag of holding is good too, but yeah, portable hole is... Because I don't think portable hole has a weight limit. It's more of a space limit.
Correct.
Which we have carefully utilized.
Yeah.
Damn it. So the first list I pulled up, the first item on there was the Instant Fortress, and I almost lost my shit. That's one of the dream items.
The list I pulled up had a Guardian emblem on it, which is what you and I were talking about earlier.
Yup.
Theo.
That's one of on Betha's list items.
Donnie got lost in, like, Diagon Alley. He's just walking around like, legendary. Meh. Ooh, what's this?
Donnie, a damn horde of blasting.
When he
Why
never
can't I find a horde of blasting.
He's got like singular focus. What about this Holy Slayer? No, horde of blasting. Where
Donnie found the 7th level spell scrolls.
Yeah.
Yes, I did.
That is just perfect because he probably will never tell Z.
So
papers are weird.
I might tell her, but she didn't ask.
It's magical identifying is ridiculous. Who makes these rules?
Now you will ask, and you will say some paper and some paint
with scribbles on it.
Yeah. I don't know about any of this. All right, so Donnie
had asked me to go searching for you while I went searching. I told you I was going shopping.
Donnie had a magical adventure in some like back alley, and then we'll never find that alley again. All right, so that was it for Donnie's week of kind of searching around, and you said you weren't interested in anything of that, right?
No, honestly.
All right.
Oh
my. So why don't we do Theo's dinner? I'll say maybe you make plans to meet with the individual towards the end of the week. The High Artificer Cornelius Edivolt.
Cornelius Edivolt?
Yeah, he's one of the more prolific artificers within the guild. So, yeah, you make plans to meet with him. The two of you sit down.
He still has his eyebrows. He's doing good in the artificer world.
Yes, he's not missing any limbs or anything. He would politely greet you as you sit down for dinner. He says, do you prefer Theo or Theodore?
Theo works. Do you have a preferred title?
Wait, did you bring Ivor with you or no?
I guess I brought Ivor with me.
Alright, give me a persuasion check on bringing Ivor with you. That might seem a little weird.
And if this sabotages Theo's chance at having this dinner, he is never going to let Z forgive it ever.
Theo checked +1.
Bring my colleague. Oh, for fuck's sake.
So, are you just gonna bring Ivor and kind of like say, "Hey, I brought my buddy," or are you gonna?
No.
How are you?
This is an extremely important thing that Theo's not going to try and sabotage. He's trying to get Ivor in there because Z's going to beat him up if he doesn't let Ivor come in and do all the talking for his dinner.
May I direct your attention to what you just rolled?
All right. So, yeah, Cornelius would prefer to just meet with you alone. He just wants to go over some of the things you mentioned in your message to him. Do you want to try to push it, or are you just going to say okay?
I'm not going to try and push it. I don't want to sabotage a chance Theo's been working towards his entire life.
All right. So, yeah, you all would kind of sit down for dinner. Start talking. He's gonna ask you about all the things you wrote about in your letter, mostly the ruins of the dwarven subways, and ask you if you actually found any steam engines down there, or any type of old tech.
I found 2 steam engines.
All right.
I've also.
Go ahead.
I found that some old railways that can be reversed. I also found an entirely sentient and living species of artificial beings.
Give me a persuasion check with advantage. Are you talking about the Warforged of?
Yes.
Okay.
Of Isaac. I'm not straight out saying they're in Isaac and stuff. I want to gauge how he's reacting towards that information and try and figure out if he's going to actually treat them like people or like the dwarves did.
Okay, yeah, go ahead. Give me persuasion with advantage, and then give me an insight as you are having this conversation. Okay.
Flash of Genius on the persuasion. So +4, put it to 21.
Okay. And give me that insight. Okay. So he seems more interested in the subways, but he also does seem interested in these Warforged. Kind of how they were created, if you have any information on the purposes they served, which I assume you're just going to tell him about what you know.
Tell them that they were originally meant to be a workforce that gained true life and sentience. They were made using a technique called soul forging, and I've been able to work out a way using their techniques to transfer a cursed soul into a new body.
Oh, I see. Fascinating.
I would think the whole, hey, potentially extend your life thing would be a giant thing.
There are some taboos on that sort of thing, like using different techniques to extend someone's natural life, especially in the magic community, where certain liches can come to power. But
of course,
he's definitely listening and nodding. He says, have you done any research into any of these steam engines, or are they just still sitting underneath in those caverns?
I've only been able to do surface investigation so far because every time I get an opportunity to, I'm given a 10-minute time limit.
I see.
No one's there to hear your bitching.
Correct. Which is why he's bitching about it now.
Yeah, someone's listening. He nods and says...
he's not saying this where Z can hear and fireball him.
Well,
Can you
this...
hear me say that I said that alone as a spider?
He says, well, this is fascinating, and I've heard some almost unbelievable things from the ISIC projects from some of my arcane associates. But do you think you would be willing to give me the locations of these things? I actually could get a team together, and I would love to go do some research on some of these steam engines. I don't know about ISIC because it is a bit. It's a bit.
I would give ISIC a bit more time, but they do need your help and influence. There are, particularly the Warforged, they are looking for trade routes for resources and looking at some of their crafts. Almost all of them are master work. They are amazing.
I've heard ISIC is volatile right now, and it's not necessarily the safest place. I was sort of letting the noble families, or most of the Artisan Guild has been letting the noble families figure that out. Maybe once things calm down a bit, the different guilds will be willing to trade and look into that. But I am interested in these tunnels. Do you think they are safe, where these steam engines are?
We ran into a Draco Lich at one point, but that was in some offshoot tunnels. We kicked its ass, it went running away. If you take a wrong turn, you can end up in a place where we ran into a bunch of demons and Orcus. Had to send them back.
I see.
But for the most part, if you stick to the specific places I put on the map, you should only need a few guards.
Did you already give him coordinates?
No.
Okay. Give me
Theo's
so
pretty much been doing the whole teasing with information. I got a lot to give.
All right,
but not full on giving it.
Give me another persuasion check with advantage, as he is definitely intrigued. Says, I've had several very successful ventures into some of the old ruins, but the empires of old did tend to have dangerous traps, as well as sometimes inhabited by less than
vampires, ghouls, dragons.
Yes, exactly.
Illithid.
So what would you want for this information? The information on these locations for the subways.
My party is currently trying to prepare for an adventure out into the Shadowfell. There are Shadowlords, 2 of them that have already gotten over to this plane once. They are the ones who caused Isaac to become the hellhole it is. And they might be trying to come back, so we're going to try and catch them in their home turf and finish them off permanently.
I see. Wow.
We need anything that could help with that. Coming to magic items that could help in the fight, support, potions. The Artisans Guild's one of the only groups I think could provide any true benefit.
He says, what did you say the name of your group was again?
We are Tabula Rasa and the Table Smasher.
He chuckles a little bit. Interesting name.
Thank you very much for that.
He says, well, if what you say is true, and this Shadowlord was responsible for the destruction of the old city, you might want to speak with the council about some of this. While the chairs are definitely different from what they were 100 years ago, the council might be willing to help you if your intentions are truly to arm up and go fight these Shadow Lords, because it could be in everyone's best interest if they were defeated.
Those are truly our intentions, and as an artisan before anything else, you are the connection I would think about when trying to talk to the council.
Well, I could certainly try to...
I am also trying to flatter him with that statement.
Yeah. Go ahead and give me another persuasion check, I guess. He says, I unfortunately don't have a good link to the council, the Artisans Guild. While I do often deal with them on political matters and matters of regulation, I don't necessarily know how one would set up a meeting to speak about something like a Shadow Lord. Have you spoken with the Phoenix Guild head at all?
One of my team members' aunt is Master Bevianda.
Ah, yes, delightful woman. I was speaking more of Archmage Korik, current sitting chair of, head chair of the Phoenix Guild.
We have not had that opportunity yet. Would you, by chance, have a way to make that connection, or should we?
Ah, yes, I'm sure I could set something up. I meet with Archmage Korik on a weekly basis. We're old friends.
Great, they're bowling.
Hey, it's Z and Theo, just older.
But getting back to the locations of these subways, I guess monetarily or what exactly would you want for these?
Sponsorship would be a very great thing. I have a few ideas on some potential items we could have commission from the Artisans Guild.
Yeah, I could if you give over these steam engines to my people, I could definitely work on getting something built for you and your group. What is it that you were looking to build?
There are some very, very magic items, airship.
He chuckles, he says airship.
It's an idea I've been floating about.
My boy, your head is literally in the clouds, and he laughs. He says,
I do have plans for a moon colony.
Why don't we start with something that we already know how to do? Is there a specific magical artifact that you were looking to construct?
If there were to be one item I would request above all others, because it's most likely the hardest to come by, I think it's Tome of Clear Thought. We have that. There's an Amulet of Health that we've been desperately looking for.
Let me look some of these up.
Doesn't
Tome
Belle
of
have
Clear
one?
Thought.
Or the amulets of health?
This isn't for Bell.
Ugh, I hate that it does this. It doesn't tell me the
The,
rarity if I look it up in the normal.
Very rare
compendium.
for a tome of Clear Thought. It's the +2 to intelligence and max intelligence.
And rare for an amulet of health.
So we don't actually know how to craft the tomes. Those are old technology. What about the amulet? What was it?
It's rare, as opposed to very rare.
Yeah, we could.
Ivor, is that the one, Ian?
What?
Amulet of Health.
Sorry, I was zoned out. Were you asking me something?
There was another amulet of health. That was the item, right?
Oh yeah.
But that's a rare.
It is a rare. Yeah.
Hang
so
on.
that
That would probably be doable. Would you like us to make you an amulet of health for the information?
I have a burning on the back of my neck. May need to run it by the rest of my group just to make sure.
And of course, I would include the meeting with Archmage Korik. So I would throw that in as well. I would just ask that you give the location of these subways to me, and I will send several teams to research these old engines that you found.
Do it.
Of course, sir. Theo pulls out the maps he's already made to give him. I would love any updates possible once we reverse engineer them properly. I do want to make one or get one. This is
Give me a persuasion check.
This is the one I'm gonna do bad on de-inspiration. Let me check if I have enough.
This is the one
Nope.
you're gonna use to inspiration.
Nope,
for?
I don't have good enough. Oh wait, that's perception, not persuasion.
You have -1 in persuasion.
Oh,
I do.
well, apparently you're doing better at persuading than seeing. He says, we'll have to see. I can't guarantee that you'll be part of the project, but it definitely will
At
be
least
viewed...
a credit for the rediscovery.
Oh, yes, of course. I would definitely give you credit. I'm not an asshole. You wouldn't
And
say that.
if
but-
there are any, this is not in exchange for the locations. This is more so personal, very personal pursuits. Would we have some assistants who could potentially help out with research, or some younger crafters who are showing a proclivity towards our specific kind of field? I was thinking of trying to start up our own academy and try and spread our teachings much
You're
further
talking
than what they're
about
reaching.
artisan members? Some of the younger folk?
Yes, I want to make an artificers guild for some of the artisans. People who are both capable of... Sorry for talking... Never mind.
So he says...
I don't bring that up.
Well, I would probably say you already said that. He would say you are welcome to speak with some of the cadets, but I can't necessarily give you resources like that. I would have to run that by some of the higher ups.
Yeah, that was... They were trying to ask for leads on people who might want to pursue that, like people who might be interested in, not just, hey, give them to me, but can I have the names so I can go talk to them and stuff, but I'm not going to do that.
He says, you can talk to them. I assume you're not trying to poach them from the Artisans Guild, more just work with them on the side.
Deception.
It was trying to pretty much make a group of us who can help source better materials, pretty much make more of us who can actually go out in the field and get ingredients without damn near guaranteeing death.
Well, the guild is constantly sourcing different projects. You're welcome to speak with some of the higher ups, and I can probably set up some meetings, and you can speak to them about having some of our people help you. There might be a cost to you, but you might also make a lot depending on what you find in some of these excursions. I think that might be a bit beyond the scope of what we're discussing here, though. So, for now, you said you were willing to trade me the location of the steam engines and the subways for the commissioning of an amulet of health and a meeting with the Archmage, right?
He said he
was. And Theo gave, he has a bigger map marking the locations on the landmass, and then he has maps showing the actual tunnel paths, like, this is where it's located, here's some of the offshoot tunnels, and has little markers on these are potential dangers down these tunnels.
Alright, so you give them all that stuff, right?
Yeah, it's Theo's trying to make sure they have all the information possible.
He says, excellent. Well, I will speak to some of our crafters about getting the amulet started. It may take a few weeks, but once it's finished, it is yours.
Thank you very much.
And he gets up, smiles, and goes to shake your hand.
Theo shakes it back excitedly.
Says, you show a lot of potential, young one. It seems that you've encountered some resistance in your study of the artificer ways, as he kind of motions to your artificial arm and leg. He says, but it seems like
I'm not in my armor right now. It is nice dress, so I'm missing appendages.
Oh, are you just missing an arm and a leg or something?
You're not going to use the
I'm just missing the arm.
artificial-
I'm not missing a leg.
Okay.
You don't use our prosthetic limb.
he would kind of motion to your missing arm and say, but it seems like you've been doing well for yourself, so I'm glad. We should speak again soon.
Oh, just to let you know, one of the things I was wanting to teach, this arm, whenever I'm out in the field, my armor fully replaces any missing appendages. Fully functioning out in the field.
This is excellent. Very impressive.
Yes, thank you very much for this dinner. It was great finally getting to meet you. I'm sorry the spider has been chittering in my ear this entire time.
Super angry
spider in your ear? You must not have noticed that. Alright, so that meeting would kind of take place towards the end of the week. Was there another important meeting we had to do? I don't think so, right? That was it? Alright, so...
yeah, I guess it's the next week at earliest for the meeting with the wizard.
So towards the end of the week, you would get a note. We'll say it's the end of the week, maybe like a little bit into the next week. You would have I guess Zalia, you would get a knock at your door.
Yes, hello, I'm very busy and very important. What is it?
Professor Havenheart, someone is at the front door of the university that says they know you.
Someone who?
I believe a high elf of some kind. She gave me the name Ayara.
Do I know an Ayara?
Yeah, Ayara Ducat. She was one of the people we met in Char that offered to help procure magic items for us.
Yeah, she was the one who was selling your stuff that has been gone.
Oh, the guy was selling our stuff.
Yeah, it was Daniel Kavar that actually, I think.
He was too, but Ayara was the one you originally sent out and you hadn't heard from in a while.
Oh, yes, of course. Just send her up.
The Shadowlord in disguise.
Not the part about I'm very busy and important, right?
Wizards.
So... where is she?
I was just looking through them. I don't even see her.
I don't see her either. I thought it was Daniel that we sent.
We definitely sent both. I just don't know that there's an entry for her.
I thought it was Lyra.
Yeah,
and
honestly, I was thinking that we hadn't sent either in this party, but I could totally be mixing up my parties.
Was she not in this party?
It's here in buying and selling. Lyra was selling and Daniel.
Alright, maybe I misspoke then. I think I got you guys mixed up with a different game. It's Daniel then. Sorry.
Okay.
So it would be Daniel.
I'm Daniel.
Yes, of course. That
comes back with our shit just in time for us to be making our own shit.
Yeah.
Yep.
Alright, so they would allow him to come up and let me go find Daniel, because I think he had a list too, right?
Yeah, same list. Everybody had the list.
Daniel Kavar. So he would say, Lady Zalia, it's so good to see you again. How have you been?
Yes, it's lovely to see you as well. You're looking very well.
Yes, lots of traveling. I was somewhat successful in trading your wares, which is kind of why I was happy to hear you were in town. I was about to head back to Char, and that would have been embarrassing if I had just missed you.
I finally put down my scroll and turned to face him.
So,
what kind of luck have you had?
Well, as he brings out his scroll, where's that list of things that you were trading?
I feel like if he doesn't come up with a good amount of money, she's gonna kill him.
He's gonna pick something we already have. It's under buying and selling.
Which is under group info.
Yeah, so also requested from Daniel would
There it is.
be the items and scrolls.
Helmet teleportation.
He better have found a freaking horn of blasting. I don't know.
Alright, so was the selling stuff, was that stuff you were okay doing gold for, or were you looking to trade for stuff he was buying?
It was both. It was either.
Either, okay.
Trades first, because we're more likely to get magic items with a trade than a purchase, right?
Correct.
So, what's the request from Alira versus request from Artisans Guild?
So Lyra was going to get in touch with her contacts, but the selling are has.
Gotcha.
And buying was, we had asked everybody. We asked Lyra, we asked Artisan's Guild, we asked Aunt Bev, and we asked Daniel.
I'm so happy to see this. Yeah, I asked for schematics for helmet teleportation. Didn't look for that weeks ago, so they might have that already.
Maybe they do.
Let me do some rolling.
37th of fall. Let's see. Today.
And the requested for the only thing.
Oh yeah, 10 days. Yeah. Sorry.
So let's see. I see a couple things here. So there's requested from Aunt.
Yeah.
Bevionda.
So let me clarify for you, Lou. Under selling, everything under selling Daniel has, and he was asked to sell them. Under buying, we asked Alira to look out for those 5 things, and then we sent to the Artisans Guild and we asked them for those 4 things in a letter. And then I asked both Aunt Bevionda and Daniel to keep an eye open for the items and the scrolls.
Okay, and those are under the requested from Aunt Bevionda. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Right.
And
the line
and also
below,
requested
which from Aunt Bevionda says, Daniel.
All right. So let me see some rolls here. All right, so quick look up of this. Did you have any rare items you were trading?
I think
that ball that told time.
Scrolls might be. No, there's only 1 3rd level spell scroll.
There's Collating and Leomund's Tiny Hat are both 3rd.
Oh, yeah.
Well, 3rd is, I believe, uncommon.
Okay.
The Book of Leadership and the Secrets of Arcana, I believe, are, but they're both used, so they would have to be sold to like elves or someone long-lived.
Yeah.
Or like family heirloom kind of people, collectors.
Yeah. Everything else I think is either uncommon or common.
Because displacement is rare. Let me see. Spell gem.
Theo probably would have used that prosthetic limb if he didn't take attunement.
I didn't realize we still had it. Or that we didn't still have it. I forgot that we did.
No, you said to send it to sell.
Yeah, sell it. It takes an attunement slot. I only got 4 of those.
Only 4. 33% more than anybody else.
Humble brag.
When I look up spell gem, I'm not getting any results. Was it called spell gem?
I think so.
Wait, spell gem is an item.
Yeah, spell gem. It's the rarity of it varies depending on what color the gemstone is.
Yeah.
And what level of spell can go in it.
Is it called a spell gem though?
It is.
Yes.
Yeah.
From Out of the Abyss.
Okay, I wonder if I don't have that book. Let me take a quick look at.
They're made by deep gnomes.
Deep gnomes are so fucking creepy, dude.
David has a special place in his heart for deep gnomes.
Smurf Vivlin.
Yes.
Oh, here we go. Spell gem.
Cantrip from first, uncommon,
And I
second,
don't
third,
know the
rare,
book.
fourth, fifth, rare, very, or second, third.
So
rare.
I guess which one were you looking for?
Any of them? All of them? I don't know. Spell gems.
Okay.
You're gonna give me a cantrip one, aren't you?
Well,
he's gonna put legendary ones. So
yeah, I'm kind of looking at what you gave him to trade, and I think he mostly has uncommon items, right?
Couldn't you trade like 7 scrolls for a rare item or something? Like, isn't there like a...
I mean, would you trade 7 scrolls for a rare item?
I would, yes.
Oh, well,
if
maybe
I had a
you
rare
would.
item, but I only have 1 item blue from my 1.5 years in this game.
So we're gonna trade the Amulet of Health for 7 scrolls when we get it.
Excuse you? She said she would. I didn't.
Fair enough. All right, so
I would too. I like the items.
Are there any uncommons on this list? Because those would be easier to trade for.
No, yes.
On the spell gems or on the selling list?
In the selling list here, yeah.
All the spell scrolls should be.
We haven't gotten a whole lot of magic items to where we can.
Or wait, I guess Goggles of Night, right? Those would be uncommon.
They're uncommon.
Those.
Yeah, we're not selling those. That's one of the items.
Getting them?
Yes, yeah.
Oh, and that Goggles of Night.
Is that uncommon?
Yeah, so that's a Stone of Good Luck, which is uncommon. That was before I was trying to be not too meta about it at that time.
Stone of Good Luck, which one is that?
The Luck Stone.
The Agat Cat.
Like, not for nothing, but schematics themselves are just schematics, so...
Yeah, and Theo already has a schematic for that.
Oh, you do?
Technically. Yeah, it's an uncommon item. We have the book.
Yeah, and also, Betha asked for another container before we got the third. We have 2 bags of holding and a portable hole now. But we didn't have
Theo's
one.
making you one, and it's going to be made to fit you in flavor.
And that's lovely. I mean, I would absolutely, but I'm just for the group. I don't know if
your bag's technically
high
made. I just gotta
priority.
give it to you now.
Yeah.
It was Theo made his armor, and then your item was first.
Aww.
So I'll say he traded your 1st and 2nd level scrolls for those Goggles of Night, because 1st and 2nd level, I believe, are all common, right? Or are those uncommon?
The 3rd levels, yeah.
Yeah, so he didn't trade the 3rd levels, but he traded all the 1st and 2nd levels on your list for the Goggles of Night.
Okay.
Handy haversack, what's that?
It's a backpack bag of holding that druids can like shapeshift and not have to meld it into them.
Yeah, I was checking the...
It's rare.
Oh, it's a rare one, okay.
Yeah.
Bag of holding is better.
Honestly, it doesn't matter. Like, my other druids always want that one, but for Betha, she hardly ever wild shapes, so it doesn't really matter.
Hardcore wild shape, that has no benefits for its rarity.
And you said you wanted I didn't see a luck stone on here, but you said you wanted a luck stone?
It's the Jade Cat.
So in the items requested, it's the Agat Cat for Ivor. I just had listed it that way because I was trying to be. Yeah. Well, specifically, it's made of Agat as well.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Or Agate or Agate or whatever.
Agat.
We're gonna Google that.
I've always heard it said agate, but yeah.
My ex, who was a gem freak, always said Agat.
Really? I've never heard that before, but that could be correct.
And it's called called the luck stone?
If you
called
Stone of Good Luck.
Stone, okay. That's why I wasn't
finding it. Beyond it always popped up for
preferably not the cursed one.
Yeah, no.
Well, that would be a Stone of Good Luck. And
what's another curse to Ivor?
Daniel, you jerk. All right, Stone of Good Luck.
I would 100% not be about a Stone of Ill Luck.
All right, so that's an uncommon. What could you trade for that? Let me look at your list. Orb of Time. That was a common.
Mm-hmm.
It needs to be treated more than an uncommon or a common.
You changed the rules of the game for that.
You literally changed the rules of the game because we decided to sell that.
What do you mean?
You told us the time every
Look,
session.
I can't
Anytime we
be
asked,
held
hang
accountable. I feel like this is. Am I on trial here? I feel like this is the yell at Lou game.
always gave us time and
You're
then gave us
doing
that
it
item.
wrong,
We
Lou.
sold it because you
DM
always gave
better.
us time, and you were like, "No more time now."
You literally on Thursday said,
I don't know.
You
I'm not
changed
going
the
to
whole
say a lot of
giving us the
things.
time.
All right,
system
one of the
for
other
that
groups.
item.
Let's say.
Time.
Let's say he traded the used books for the Luckstone. How about
I'll be
that?
right
Okay,
back.
all right, okay. Good,
And the Leonard's tiny hot scroll. So 2 books in the scroll.
Okay, all right.
And that got you your Luckstone.
Nice.
Is there anything else uncommon? I guess some of these scrolls, right?
Yep.
I believe Legend Lore is uncommon.
You're a liar. You're a dirty liar, because I've looked up Legend Lore.
Those scrolls are the same
Multiple
scrolls I
times.
asked you for already, though, so you suck.
Yeah. I'll say, let's see. I'll make a roll for it. He might have got you some copies. So... Let's see. 3rd level. What's Dissonant Whispers? Is that 2nd? Yeah, I think that's 2nd. And protection from plants. What is that? Let me look. I'll find out. Nothing comes up.
It is.
It's a scroll of protection.
Rare. It's a rare scroll. Scroll of protection.
Ah, there it is.
You gave it to us.
Plants. Oh, it is rare. Okay. It is a consumable, but still a rare.
And if traded to a wizard, worth a whole lot more because they can scribe it.
No, you can't scribe protection scrolls, as far as I know. Only spells. They're just one-time uses.
Came back, heard rare scroll, and was like, "Ooh,
that's worth stuff." So, we'll say he traded the rest of your scrolls for Major Image, Slow, Tongues. What is Contact Other Plane? What was that?
That lets you sending just to another plane.
Sending to another plane.
Alright, it's 5th level, so that would be a rare. He wouldn't have gotten that one.
Maybe just that one? I'm just saying.
Alright, sure. We'll say the protection from plants for that.
Yes.
Sure. We'll go with that. So yeah, those would be the things he'd pass over to you. He would say he has not found buyers for the art yet. So he still has that.
You know what? Just leave it with us. I think we might have a contact here in town who's quite good with selling art in particular.
He says very well. And for my services, I would ask for some gold for the sales I made, if that's all right with you.
How much gold are you looking for?
Let's see. He traded a good amount. I think he asked for 10% originally. Why don't we say... There were a few rares in there. Why don't we say like 1,000 gold pieces?
Okay, so he's giving us back the 4 gold necklaces that are worth 40 G each from the Shadow Kai, the Call Lightning Scroll, the Dissonant Whisper Scroll, the 2 old paintings, the Prosthetic Limb, and the Orb of Time.
Yeah, all the stuff there. He didn't trade that yet.
Alright, I'll hand him over 1 platinum bar worth 1,000 GP.
Oh yeah, because platinum is... A bar is 100.
Platinum
and a platinum is 10 gold.
Yes.
So
yeah. Okay. Wait, I thought a platinum coin was 100 gold.
Coin, it's a bar.
Wait, is it 100? I thought it was 10
No.
gold for...
Platinum is 10.
It's 10.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. Sorry, I'm thinking of older editions. I think so. Yeah,
If you want to give us 100,
No, I think you're right. I'm just my brain is fried a little. All right, so you give him a platinum bar, which is 100 times 10, so 1,000. Okay, he smiles and pockets it and bows and says, "Thank you, miss. Is there, or ma'am, is there anything else that the misfits require of me?"
I believe there might be, but I will contact you.
This is excellent. I shall be staying at the inn down the street. You can just send someone to get me, and he gives you a card with his information where he is.
I will take his card and laugh and say, I have other ways of contacting you, but thank you.
Of course, miss. Good day to you, and hopefully we shall speak again soon.
Okay, and that night I will track down Ivor and give him all the rest of the junk and say, can you see what you can do with this?
I'll give him a best shot.
All right, so that was the compilation of the first week of crafting. Shall we move on to the second? And we have to pass some time. So 7 days would pass. Your upkeep.
Remind me what the orb of time is.
It just tells time.
Whether it's day or night.
No, it doesn't even just tell time. It tells you if it's light out or dark out.
Yeah. It sucks.
How dare you?
You can literally look out a window.
The prosthetic limb is like far more valuable.
Unless you're underground. Unless you're underground.
Yeah, right.
So we've been underground quite a lot, and we've managed. Sometimes we're not exactly sure what time it is, but oh well.
All right, so 7 days.
Know what time it was until that orb came around.
7 days would have passed. You're all living, I think, aristocratically, so that would be 10 gold pieces a day for living for a week in the city. So 70 gold pieces each.
As part of my bargaining, can I get bored?
Jeez.
I gave them trains!
I already have board, and I'm literally just sitting in my room scribing. So, food is all I need.
Betha is totally partaking of like the richest dishes and the nicest restaurants. And,
I'm assuming you guys are living well. I assume you all are living well during your time here.
Theo is not. He's going to the cafeteria, working, and then going to cry and have.
I love it how we were spending like 5 gold for pints, and now suddenly we are like, no way, 10 gold pieces.
When was I ever doing that? I'm the person who keeps having people make comments about.
All right, look, you can. What were the?
I'm a college professor. We make nothing.
I mean, don't you guys have like 20,000 gold? Jeez.
Not anymore. Fuck.
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
All right.
We are poor adventurers.
Interesting thing is that Betha will have to ask Beldani for some of her gold in order to pay her.
Betha's living it up. She's like at the casino at one of those slot machines.
Well, she can only carry.
Beldani's making that monkey side eye look.
The thing is Betha can only carry like 50 coins. She's that close to being encumbered, so she has like none of her gold on her.
She can't wait till someone invents a bank.
Wait, with the poison reverse engineering, that's going to take a week, right?
Yeah, so that would be another week. But I mean, I guess if you're living at the university, it's probably going to be aristocratic. I guess Theo, you could make an argument for living.
I have a teacher's apartment in the dorms, and I'm eating in the cafeteria. Aristocratic.
You guys are
You're talking about
here.
I am perfectly content to spend my 70 gold pieces for the week in the slums. Thank you.
Yeah, I already spent my 70. Like this is.
I'm fine with spending it. I just need to get it from.
I work at a university, Azalia. Professors are highfalutin as fuck. They are spending money left and right if they are at a prestigious university.
Dude, that's complete bollocks.
University of Illinois, yes. Professors make $250K a year, and they're spending it left and right.
Yes, if you're
this is
250K in Illinois does go quite far.
This is the capital. This is like
you are at the prestigious magic institution.
We're like in LA or New York.
Not at a community college.
Also, you're pretty much
community magic.
You're gonna go for the high class stuff here.
I have my own rooms, So
you're at MIT. You're not at a community college.
Today, class, we're going to be learning a spell called Matchstick.
I'm gonna teach you a spell called.
All right.
Honestly, just to clarify,
does anyone have a huge problem with spending the 70 gold pieces a week?
I do.
Yes.
It's like half the money
Yes,
I have.
I do have a problem with that. I only have 30 gold.
All right, let me look. At
And I just gave them train technology.
I will float you the fucking dough.
It's principle.
Yes, this is our home. It's not like we're in a strange city. We live here.
Theo is somebody who, until he went adventuring, did live in this place.
Honestly, I'm fine with spending it, and I would pay for you others. But I'm not. Did I understand correctly that Eldani spent the gold that was in the portable hole?
No, I spent 300 of your 600 gold that's in the.
Okay, all right. Then yeah, in that case, can I just cover whoever needs it? And,
No. I'm. This is on principle for me. Seriously, this is my home.
Oh, jeez. Let me try to look up the.
Well, there's that table. What level of living are you doing?
Let me
I'm
try
sorry,
to...
a professor would
modest, my friend. I'm under modest.
Modest? I've never known a professor to be modest.
So wait, you're trying to live for a gold piece a day? Is that...
Yeah.
I'm a teacher.
Not a teacher, you're a professor. There's a big fucking difference there.
Do you remember what the living conditions were? Does anyone remember? Wait, so I can look.
Modest is basically like you can get by without having any of your shit fucked.
Yeah. No, I'm just looking at the other levels because it would definitely be more than modest if you're staying at the Phoenix Guild, unless you're like living in a inn somewhere nearby. So
I do think there is an argument to be made for like if this is your primary residence, it might have a higher cost.
Really...
I don't mind paying a high cost for if I'm like out traveling, but I feel like this is my home. These are my apartments for which I'm on sabbatical, but these are my apartments that are allotted to me. I shouldn't have to pay for
allotted to
Wait,
you?
we were trying to go. We were originally going. Wealthy,
what professors get housing allotted to them? Most still pay rent and have to buy their own place.
I spend a lot of time at Boston University if you want to go toe-to-toe on this.
Housing allotted to them. Wow.
Faculty and residents, man.
There are some professors down here in Mississippi who do have near campus.
No, it does
residence.
happen. But I'd also say those are the professors making $250K a week and spending a lot of money elsewhere.
I just love you getting to chime in with all this. It's wonderful.
Well, I think like the analog to like $250K a year would be like significantly more money than we're making as adventurers, right?
Yeah, where's my salary exactly with my $250K?
Where's your classes you're teaching right now?
I mean, as adventurers, you guys are like super rich. I don't know what you're talking about.
What are you talking about?
You spend 20,000 plus gold pieces on magical items.
We've fought multiple dragons.
You have as much as like some small kingdoms in this place.
We have not been able to buy any of them.
We fought dragons for it.
I mean,
he's not saying it's not well earned, but he's saying it is a lot of money.
Yeah, it's a lot of money. You guys have.
All right, so
our entire net worth could buy one rare item. I don't know that.
I mean, most peasants see like a gold piece for like a month's worth of work.
Hang on.
Or like a week.
Adventurers are not normal people. They do work on different scales.
You know what? It's not worth this much game time. I'll just pay something.
I will argue Theo modest at the Artisans Guild. He is. They don't have.
I still can't find
these.
Stuff. Do you remember what the upkeep chart is called, so I can look it up?
Yeah, it's in lifestyle expenses. So modest is modest is 1 gold piece. Comfortable is above modest, and that's 2 gold piece. Wealthy is above that, and it's 4 gold piece. Aristocratic is like as rich as you can go. So aristocratic might be excessive.
Right. Just because I'm the one arguing
I'll say,
and stuff.
If you guys want, you can go with the 4 gold pieces. I'll give you that for wealthy.
There we go.
Yeah. So
and there's also a provision for like downtime activities between adventuring, and one of those is practicing a profession. So perhaps in the case of Theo and Zalia who live here, they can make a gold piece a day doing that thing, and make their cost 3. I don't know.
The whole reason
I think
why
that's if you're not doing downtime activities, though. Like
that's
if you're
fair.
just living.
That's fair. Yeah, that's fair.
So the whole reason I'm arguing modest on Theo is because in its thing it specifically says renting a room and boarding house is included with there. It's for laborers and stuff like that.
My argument would be the Artisans Guild is not a modest place. Anyone here has at least some money. Like, they're not just going to let modest living... It's not a place where
they're not like carpenters.
Yeah, it's not like these people make, like, horseshoes and pots. They're like the high, magical item crafting institution. So it would be at least wealthy to be staying here and living.
The Artisans Guild is MIT.
So I'll give you guys 4 gold if you want to say you're not living as high up. You can say you do 40 gold for the week.
There we go.
I
will fucking pay your
gold.
Or
no, sorry, not 40.
Theo's trying to not interact with anybody in the party while he's here.
Yeah, 28 gold. Sorry, not 40. For some reason I thought it was 10 days. Do we want to take a quick 5-minute break?
Sure.
That conversation got me a little flustered. I need to go wash my face. I'll be right back.
Just funny
for
that
every cent. You're rich though.
Talk of MIT, having gone to MIT for undergrad.
Bringing back some memories.
The buildings at MIT are very run the full gamut. I remember the Media Lab had absolutely beautiful performance spaces, but one of my humanities classes was in a trailer that was from World War II that had never been replaced.
Professor. Yeah. The sciences are well funded, but fuck the history department, I'll tell you that.
Yep. Yeah, oh man. Try going to school for fucking music. Jesus.
I have a Bachelor of Science in Creative Writing because that's all MIT gives is Bachelor of Sciences. So
yeah.
I had a friend who graduated with a BS in drama, which I thought was really funny.
That's actually pretty appropriate. I had a BS in advertising, which couldn't be more appropriate.
English literature here, so yeah.
I didn't finish.
My undergrad was Spanish and Latin American literature. My master's is education, teaching English as a second language, which I've never actually done for pay. I've only done it free.
My master's is in instructional technology because I work at a university.
All right, I'm back.
Welcome back.
Yeah, most schooling I've had past high school is gambling school.
Gambling school?
Yeah, down here, there is a school where you can learn table games and stuff like that. I was a slot technician, and they were willing to give you a little bit of a bonus if you went.
Wow.
It's always interesting.
Some of those jobs can pay pretty well. I don't know what your situation is. But
it was $15 an hour, which for Mississippi isn't bad, but it's not great.
I had some friends in Vegas working in the casinos doing various things, and some of those jobs paid really well without much education.
Oh yeah, slot technicians, we got paid a whole lot because it takes at least 6 months to train one's technician. And every technician you're down means more machines down. And yeah, they really want those old religious people on those machines religiously trying to tell you about everything while you're working on a machine.
Wait, why do you have to be religious to be on the machines?
Oh, I'm just talking about from my personal experience with down here in Mississippi, a lot of religious old folk who spend their entire retirements on slot machines.
So it's like, I see.
Honestly, I don't know if that's a regional thing. Like, I feel like that happens a lot of places. Like, I mean,
with slot technicians, that is one of the ultimate stereotypes for somebody who's on a machine.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of old people.
We've only gotten casinos in Ohio in like the last 10 years, and they're just like Heaven's waiting room.
The one I worked at was the Heaven's waiting room of the casinos.
I have been to the casinos in Tunica, Mississippi, so...
I'm sorry.
They're not far from where my parents live.
I am so sorry. Tunica is not the place to go for the casinos in Mississippi. come to the coast or don't go to any of them.
Yeah, we do have a lot of casinos up in Washington.
God, I've been up to Tunica once. It's kind of a Mississippi thing. If you're from the coast, you don't want anything to do in North Mississippi. The farther up you go, the more banjos you hear. You're doing a slight head, yeah. What were you gonna say? Sorry.
Oh, nothing. Just my parents live in Memphis, so that's how we ended up in the casinos in Mississippi, since gambling's still illegal in Tennessee.
Yep, just go right across the border and all of a sudden you can have fun.
Trying to find the highest English professor paid I can find, and the highest so far is 203K at my university. 203,000. So yes, I was overestimating at 250, but 203, man, still.
The highest.
Yeah. Well, basically all of them are in the 100 to 200 range.
It's fantasy world. Professors can't throw fireballs in real life.
So they're paid more in fantasy?
I was going to say some classes definitely.
I mean, you definitely wouldn't want to make them disgruntled.
Yeah, it's a combination of professors and weapons of mass destruction, or what wizards are. So, I guess like the military budget combined with the educational budget, something like that.
America.
Yeah,
Truvia.
Celia's definitely not marketing her skills in the right way. It's clear from today's conversations.
Straight up, if we just spend a month, let you teach a few classes, it'd probably fund our next adventure.
I could do a couple of guest lectures, but I'm sure I'd just get paid peanuts because I'm on the.
You're not tenured.
You're an adventurer, so we're gonna pay you less. I will lightning bolt you.
If you've made full professor, you're by definition tenured.
Hey, so she is tenured, which explains why she can just go off and gallivant across the country in Shadowfell for a while.
Yeah, okay. You know, we're moving on. We're moving on.
Carry on. This has been an exhausting conversation.
Yes, it has been.
All right. So, yeah, we finished figuring out all the financial stuff. So yeah, we finished the first week. A couple of events happened as Theo spoke with Cornelius. Did you want to talk to your group about setting up maybe a meeting with the Archmage or the Council or any of the stuff that Cornelius told you about?
I would send a messenger with that information written down.
Oh, to your people?
Yeah. They'd go to the college to give it to Z.
Alright.
As soon as Delia sees that would you be explaining that your Zacharias or whatever his name is already talking to this Archmage about what we're doing?
Yeah, it's pretty much talked to an awesome person. They're trying to set up a meeting with us. We'll give you word when that meeting's set up. And details on like names and stuff like that.
So I would drop what I was doing.
So do we want to say? Sorry to interrupt, Zayla. Do we want to just say that maybe like at the end of the week you all meet up someplace to talk about what's going on, just to make this? It would make sense that you might do that instead of just sending messages back and forth.
No, I would head right over there, and I would probably try to gather everyone
because I'd be quite concerned about the involvement of the Phoenix Guild.
Okay. So, Theo, you're kind of sitting in your room on break after spending a bunch of time in the laboratory when you would hear
having a panic attack.
Having, some memories of almost dying when you hear a knock at your door.
Feeling that
PTSD.
cold still course through my body and stuff. Yeah. Unless it's life-threatening, go away.
It is life-threatening. It's your life that's threatened.
Is there a window?
Open up.
No, probably not.
I can hear you in there. Open up.
I wasn't saying that out loud.
I didn't say I could hear you saying that.
So, are you gonna let them in?
Yeah, I'll let them in.
So you would see your group is here.
Why?
They're just standing there like ciphers.
Or I assume, would anyone not come, or would you all come if Zalia called you?
I assumed that we were all like convening semi-regularly, whether it was for a meal or something like.
No, Theo.
That's what I would have assumed, but maybe Theo has been a little bit.
That's the thing.
This is
Then I would come.
him trying to process trauma and deal with it how he deals with it.
Yeah.
Crafting and being by himself processing.
All right. Well, Betha would come with Celia.
Okay. So yeah, we'll say you're all there. Like you wanted to. Zalia may have told you about the implications, and you, unless you didn't want to come, you could all be there.
Theodosius, open the door right now.
I mean, if we brought Beldani, I'm pretty.
Yes, I'm there.
Want me to open the door?
Yeah, I'm gonna ask you to open the door in 1 minute.
I think
you hear that? Tony's gonna open the door.
I gave you the information you needed. I don't have any more.
Theo, we need to speak.
Theo opens the door. He's covered in what looks like cold sweat.
Yeah, you're really lucky I didn't just teleport in there. March right through the door. I'm gonna do detect magic to see if I can see if
You've never seen in here before. You can't dimension door in.
Oh, now she.
Oh, you can dimension door.
Oh wait, yeah, you can without. You don't have.
You can, yeah. You just have to know the distance you're going.
I think that's why Theo puts things in random spots all around the room, so that way if somebody does dimension door, they're gonna take some damage.
Casting detect magic.
All right.
Are there any bugs in the room?
I
don't mean insects, because I'm sure there are plenty of insects.
Other than nettle?
So you don't...
there are no insects. I'm paying this for 20.
You mean like a scrying device, but no, you only see the things from your group, your own magical items.
Alright, I'll shut the door and I'll say, Theo, what is the meaning of this message about the Phoenix Guild? How have you involved us with them?
We're trying to get sponsorship and help with the Shadowfell situation. My group can't necessarily provide the best help, so they're going to somebody who can organize a meeting with us and be counsel. That's all written down on the paper!
We talked about it, but we talked about it for the Artisans Guild, not the Phoenix Guild. You know what our experience was with them so far, and I'm going to look very deliberately at Ivor and say, I'm not sure that we can risk that sort of intrusion into our affairs.
So, that's not necessarily a meeting all of us need to be at. That's more so the intermediate meeting to get to the council. We have to talk to the council if we want any kind of sponsorship or support in the Shadowfell. Are you expecting us to completely do this on our own?
No, but I'm expecting not to go to jail.
I was kind of expecting us to do this on our own. Fuck 'em.
Alright, so go ahead.
So they're aware of what we're doing now, right? So there's very little we can do to escape that.
They're aware that there is a threat to the entire planet that we are trying to stop.
All right, your point is well taken, but do you think you might have conferred with us before you marched in there and laid our business out on the table?
No, it's literally a religious doctrine to not keep secrets.
I feel really conflicted here. On the one hand,
you should expect me to talk about things like this.
On the other hand, there's Mr. Secrets. I will look from one to the other, and then I will look at Betha. Like, help.
If I see you looking around, I'll say, there's no point being upset about it now. What's done is done. It is what it is. If I were in the Theo's position, I might have done the same thing. Sooner or later, somebody from the Phoenix Guild is going to become aware of my existence. And I can think of no better way to introduce myself than by leveraging our considerable contributions to the safety of the planet.
Theo throws his hands up in the air exasperatedly. Exactly! If there's ever a time for them to figure out anything about Ivor, it's while it's also, oh, you're one of the people who's our only chance of saving our lives.
you both gone stark raving mad? This is the Phoenix Guild. They're completely draconian.
Yes, but even the draconian can be persuaded to see reason under dire circumstances. If they are made to understand the threat that the Shadowlords pose, they may elect to turn a blind eye to, things.
That's a gamble that I don't think is worth taking.
Well, we no longer have a choice.
He does not have to be there. You don't have to be there.
This is true, but they are well informed and they make a point to be. Sooner or later, like I say, whether we had told them or not, it would have come to light eventually.
That and with us coming through the teleportation circle and that whole thing, there's probably already eyes watching Ivor.
Perhaps, but now there most certainly are.
It'd be a much better light.
Have you been watched or trailed at all? Beldani, has he been trailed?
Not that I'm aware of, but it was rather easy for me to sneak in here as him. I did get caught.
How far did you get? Yeah, you got caught.
You got caught by one of the flying drones.
And if I had not have walked you down, you would have seen how many golems we have here.
Although, you would have noticed that Beldani would have been strangely absent this week. You're not sure what he's been up to.
Son of a bitch. You guys, man.
He has been. He is here for this, though.
Oh, yeah, no, for sure.
Charging into my safe space.
But I wasn't referring to Theo. I was referring to Ivor and yourself, actually. Have you? The two of you are what I'm worried about. Theo's not going to get arrested. And if he does, he'll deserve it.
As far as I know, no one has been tailing me or, seemed overly concerned about my whereabouts.
And I believe the only people tailing me are Bloodhand.
It is a very large city.
From what I saw, they might be tailing Beldani as well.
At least one of them.
All right. Okay. We can put our cards on the table, but I don't think we should do it until after we have control of the tuning fork that we need, because at the very least we could leave. We could go.
This is true, and I do think there is a legitimate benefit to having this meeting. And even though they know about us, they don't necessarily know. I don't believe that there's any reason to give them a reason to think that I am an unlicensed spellcaster. I can simply pretend to be who I pretend to be, and if they find out otherwise, then I can choose to show my hand then.
I can make you look like a satyr with a disguise kit.
You can make me look like I will snap my fingers and wave my hand over my face and look like a satyr.
Anti-magic, or them seeing magic coming off of you and assuming you're a magic caster. I'm talking about something that doesn't
Certainly
have
they can.
that illusion.
They will see magic coming off of all of us if that is what they're looking for.
They will most likely look as we go in. We're going to get a once-over at least. If we go with a more, or less magical one, with the whole trying to keep you using magic secret.
Perhaps if you were to just assume your normal form, you would attract less attention.
I certainly could do that as well. In that case, the only magic that they would identify would be the things that I wear, and those aren't particularly interesting.
You might call this attention to yourself.
Quite right.
You have an artificer, buddy. Your items are explained.
Precisely. But
yes,
he wasn't using it to disguise himself.
Exactly the point, yes. If I do not disguise myself, then I do not need to explain a disguise.
Exactly. I was just saying, if you didn't want to be your other form, I could disguise the other form and look like something similar and not going to cause as many questions.
They could probably see through it. I think at this point your indiscretions, Theo, have put us in a position where we must have this meeting, and the less subterfuge the better.
I'm an expert with a disguise kit, thank you very much.
not the disguise that I'm concerned about.
I will snap my fingers again and wave my hand over my face, and I will look like Theo. That's quite the disguise kit you have.
Yes. My disguise kit won't bring attention as a magical disguise.
He doesn't need your disguise kit. Can you not see? He can be whatever he wants to be.
Okay, give off magic aura.
No, the point is that I shall not be disguised. We do not need your disguise kit or my magic. That is probably the least interesting.
I was trying to give you an option to not have to reveal your true self because of me trying to talk to people, so we don't die in the Shadowfell. I can literally go to this meeting by myself. None of you except for Bill need to be there.
No, you
and Betha and Donnie, because they'll probably actually help.
Battle, and I know exactly what transpired at that meeting, and you're not going into another meeting like that by yourself.
Really? Who's the one with the connection?
I'm gonna roll my eyes and walk out of the room.
Alright.
Please, get out of my room.
So,
Betha, I have a bag for you.
Oh, Auntie, I have these goggles for you as well. What's his name? Daniel, the cute one. He came back with some stuff.
Oh my! Well, aren't these ugly? She would take them.
They aren't very attractive, but they will help you to see in the
Nathan, I
dark.
look silly with goggles on.
What
are these?
Needs to make.
What's that you say you have, Theo? Thank you, Zalia.
Alright, so
Theo,
go ahead.
Theo hands Betha a bag. It has symbol for Palor on the front and vines growing around that symbol with bears and other woodland creatures around the bottom.
I've stopped out of the room as well. I'm following over down the hall, and I'm going to give him his luckstone along the way.
Alright, so the meeting ends a little bit unceremoniously as everyone kind of goes their separate ways, giving a couple of items to each other from the week's events. During the next week, Neil would get back to you. I mean, he's been in contact with Valdani, but he'll get back to you, Ivor, and say, all right, yes, we've, hey, Ivor, we found the woman that you were asking us to find, so we're ready to set up a meeting.
Ah, very well. Perhaps this is something that we can do sometime this week. And would he say that you said this is sometime during the week? He comes to.
This is at the basically beginning of the second week.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay.
Would
so
say,
we'll assume that I've stopped by for my afternoon check-in at the Bloodhand or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. So at one of the check-ins, he would tell you that and say, "She is willing to meet. Just let me know when would work for you." And I assume we'll just or go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, I'll just confirm interest and indicate that I'd like to talk to everybody else first.
He nods. So, do we want to do the second week?
Sure.
Yep.
Betha potion again, right?
Yeah.
There's no bad things that could happen, so go ahead and spend it and get it. Zalia, what were you doing for the second week?
Making scrolls, but I'm also going to copy over that other scroll that we got, the contact between
Contact
planes.
other plane.
Okay, so you're going to scribe that?
We'll do that first, yeah.
Okay. Will you be able to do that? Well, I guess it's not going to take you that long, because that's not a downtime thing to do the scrolls. So we can say you did that outside of downtime. Yeah, you would make the scrolls this week. Yeah. How many do you get to make in a week?
Well, it depends on the level, but I start with the level 2 scrolls, so each one of those is 4 days.
Okay, so you work on about two of those. I guess.
So you know what? I'll just do the fireball one. That's 1 week.
That's 1 week. All right. So you do the fireball this week, and you scribe your spells, Theo. So also, an event for you, Theo. You are contacted by Cornelius, and he said that the Archmage is interested in talking to you and your group. That he's actually heard about Tabula Rasa and is willing to set up a meeting. It doesn't have to be right away, but yeah, there's an in there.
Wonderful.
Okay, so just let me know if you want to do that this week or next week. But what are you going to do for your downtime stuff?
If Belle wants to work on poison this week, I'll do that. If not, I can work on 2 magic items.
All right. So do you want to do? Well, no, Belle. I think you're doing your crime this week, right?
Yeah.
Beldani. So I'll say Beldani has been strangely absent. He's been he's been skulking. So we'll say you can work on the magical items this week.
Right.
All right. So just go ahead and spend your stuff, and you would be able to do that. Donnie.
Now, just to make sure, clarification: the bone from the Dracolich has necrotic resistance. Can it be used for the Rod of the Pact Keeper?
Oh, I think you were asking me about that. Yeah,
yes.
Let me check that really quick.
There's that, and the question of can we work spell components into the staff as flavor, where they're all in the staff, but they wouldn't make a mechanical difference. Just flavoring it to where it looks really cool.
Yeah, I mean you can the cosmetic aspects of the staff you can come up with whatever you kind of want for it to look like.
I think we've been asking is, can you make those same cosmetic elements also be
count as spell components?
Gold value spell components. Like if you wanted
to incorporate, used up by the spell, but required by the spell.
Right. Like if there was something that required like a diamond worth 500 gold pieces, could you incorporate that into the construction of something, and then you would have that component for casting a spell as long as it didn't get used up?
Yeah, as long as it didn't get used up.
Okay,
that's
awesome.
Fine. You could. You mean like for keeping your hands free or something?
No.
So you're not carrying around. It's basically so you're not carrying around like a pearl for chromatic orb and a diamond for identify, and a piece of batwing for whatever else.
The component's going to be part of his spellcasting focus, so
you would still have to have it. It wouldn't really have any mechanical benefit. It would just allow for the component to be part of the item.
So what specifically?
It's not a component that's used up. It's a persistent component.
Correct.
So what specifically are you trying to put into what?
So we're going to have Dragonbone as the core, ivory going around that to make the staff part. There's going to be a double helix going down of glass tubes that have ruby dust put inside of them.
I love you too.
Flavor is like what I'm excited for and why I want to make items.
And this is Rod of the Pact Keeper?
Yes, it's going for a +1. Trying to... Alright, so Dragonbone core, ebony shaft going around, glass double helix going down the length of the rod filled with ruby dust. Has a platinum cap on the bottom part of it for style points. Has a platinum head that is done...
Okay, so you're attaching a bunch of these things to the rod, so you would have them for spell casting, is what you're trying to do.
Yep, that's it.
Yeah, so I mean that wouldn't go towards the price of creating the rod, but you could certainly attach those to have them.
Correct. We're going
gotcha.
for the price comes from the high quality ebony and the Dragonbone.
So it's more just to have them all in one place for casting
and make a kick-ass item. Well,
exactly.
Kick-ass looking item.
Okay, so this
it's
is
flavor, Lou.
Yeah. Well, flavor and some
utility.
Flavor and
utility.
It
has some utility.
Yeah,
I guess that's true. You could steal 1,500 gold pieces worth of dust.
But nothing they wouldn't have had to spend anyway is the point.
Right.
Yeah. So as long as you're not incorporating that towards the cost of making it, then that's fine.
No, these are separate. The price for these are separate from price of the item.
Yeah. No, that's fine. So you.
All right. So.
Go ahead.
Still describing it. Platinum head. It is shaped to look kind of like an intricate cage, filled with this resiny material that whenever the light hits it right, it shines extra bright, and giant 600 gold ruby inside of that, or ruby vial inside of that, so you can see that encased with the resin, and then on top of that, there's another ruby set to where it kind of looks like if he went to cast, something would come out of the vial into the ruby and out. And there is... I can't really link the image. Ian might be able to link it in chat for everybody to see, but make sure to engrave sign into the top 4 Ivor.
Now, quick question. How much dragon bone from the Dracolich do you currently have?
Was it 5 bones?
I believe. Yeah, we have quite a...
And it was to the point where each one could be used to make a wand, at least. So the wands are uncommon, 2 are the ones we were looking to make. So
6
it would...
Six dragon bones we grabbed.
6.
Okay. So I didn't give you a price for those, did I?
You did not.
Okay. Alright, yeah, sure. So you can use one of those for this. That's fine. So you have 5 left.
Dope.
Yeah.
And then the other item I'm making this week, Pearl of Power. It doesn't look super special. Theo just dyes it to where it's purple instead of normal.
What item is that?
Pearl of Power.
Did I give you a
It's an
formula for
uncommon
that
one. No, we can
did.
say that's something it's where it is on the list, but we can say once you've given me that, spent the gold for what we need for it.
Yeah,
because we have pearls already.
It was posted in Downtime projects, but I don't think that the unique ingredients, if there are any, were posted in response.
Correct.
Yeah, I might not have gotten to that one yet. Is there something else you could make in the meantime, and I'll maybe look that up for a different week?
Yeah, that throws me off after.
Alright, well, you can go ahead and think.
Substitute,
go ahead and think about it.
Robe of Protection. Or Cloak of Protection.
Yeah, that's fine if you got the stuff for that and that works out.
Yeah, we already have golem parts.
Alright, so you work on those 2 things. Donnie. You there, Gray?
I would assume in my travels that I ran across maybe some form of sportsman-like contests amongst folks, and would look to revisit that and possibly partake in some contests of battle. And you can give me some flavor for how you want to do that. I know there's a specific downtime activity related to pit fighting, which is what I was thinking of, but
let me look into pit fighting. Donnie's,
I'll give Ivor some credit for pointing that one out, because that looked like fun once I
You're welcome.
saw that.
Alright, pit fighting.
Oh wait, I misread Construct us.
He's really pit fighting. Death and axes.
I mean, if it happens to be arm wrestling, the form of non-lethal combat, that's even better. But
there we go.
Professional arm wrestler.
Boxing, wrestling, or other forms of.
So boxing, wrestling, other non-lethal. I mean, I guess you could try to start some kind of freaking arm wrestling league.
Yeah, buddy.
So you're in the taverns.
Actually,
see.
you know here's how I'd like to play this, Lou.
Okay.
If you'd allow this, is ideally what I want to do, and we need to roll to see if this happens. But ideally, I'm assuming there's some form of organized fighting somewhere in the city. I would
for sure.
That. I would like to join that. When I win, I will then convert it into arm wrestling.
So you're trying to convert the pit fights into arm wrestling competitions?
Exactly.
Alright, well, let's see.
I'm participating too. Like, I'm going to show how easy it is for me to win normally, and then we'll switch it to, once I've proven my prowess, then we'll switch it to arm wrestling.
Alright, so the character makes a series of checks. DC determined at random based on the quality of the opposition. And the unknown nature of the character's opponents. Alright, so you have to... Let's see, you have to make 3 checks, strength, dexterity, and a con check. There's a bonus, largest hit dice, okay. This roll doesn't spend that dice if desired. The DC is 5 plus 2, D10. Okay, so I gotta generate these. So give me a strength athletics check.
And do athletics.
And I'll generate your opponent. Oh, jeez, alright. 7. 11
5
plus...
plus 2d10 is pretty high.
Yeah. So 16. All right. So you're in there fighting. There's a bunch of. Oh yeah, no, you definitely beat him. But there's like a bunch of yelling. The guy is actually pretty impressive, but you do manage to take him down. And there's a ding ding, and everyone cheers. So you made that first check. Now you need a Dex Acrobatics.
Did we have any opportunity to like place wagers on this?
I mean, you guys could be there watching if you want. I don't know if Donnie, would you have brought them along, or is this more just a you thing?
I would have, I would have kept it a secret. It's kind of up to them if they tag along. I mean, I would have started in the way I would imagine this goes down is I would have been sleeping in the university with Zelia. Well, not sleeping with Zelia, but at the university with Zelia, or taking accommodations there. Sorry, came out wrong.
Oh well, there might be another room that you're visiting at the university, given your recent acquaintances.
But I can imagine the scene being heading down to the library, and then as Zelia starts to head in after I've spent time there with her. And I don't go that direction, I can imagine you asking me, like, wait, are you not coming in? I'm like, no, I need to go fight. I haven't fought for a while. I need to go fight.
Yeah, so I don't know if at that point Zelia would, or anyone would join you. That's up to you all. But unfortunately, you would get beaten in the acrobatics check. So that is a failure, but you get to make a con check, which is your largest hit die.
Save or a con check?
Con check. So it's you basically just click on Constitution.
With the rules, you can also substitute one of the checks with a weapon attack.
Oh, where does it say that? Oh, I see. If desire, the character can place. So yeah. So do you want to do a weapon attack on your Dex to substitute?
That'd be much better. Yeah. If you're.
All right. Go ahead. Yeah. So do a. Oh, all right. Well,
non-lethal battle.
So unfortunately, you would still fail the second check. Now a con check that has a bonus equal to half your roll of the character's largest hit die. So I think that's D12 for you.
Okay. D12.
So con save and add a D12 to it. Basically, I think is what that says.
Con save.
Con
check. Sorry, check. So it would just be plus your con modifier.
So my con save is +8. My con modifier is +4, so that'd be -4 to that roll.
So 22. All right. Now you add 1d12. Yeah.
1d12. There we go. Also, they're now back up to 26. Yep.
Nice.
All right. So you would get another success, beating down some more people.
Sweet.
There is a 10% chance of a complication, so I'll roll that.
Yep.
No complications. So you get 2 successes, winning yourself 100 gold in several bouts throughout the city. You said you're going to try to convince people to start an arm wrestling.
Yeah. So after I beat my opponent, I go to him like, yeah, good fight. Anyone else show better test of strength? Arm wrestle. Next battle, arm wrestle. And I'm just kind of screaming at everyone.
All right. So, yeah, you have a bunch of fights during the week. Give me a persuasion check as you start really pushing this arm wrestling league.
Is there an element of intimidation as well?
Are you trying to intimidate or persuade? You can use either.
It's more persuasion. That's fair.
Start an arm wrestling league or else.
Fucking kill you. Alright, so yeah, they definitely start taking it under consideration, and you're actually becoming quite popular from the fights. I'll say that you make a contact in the underground fighting ring, which you can use as a resource as well. So you get a week gives you 100 gold pieces and a contact.
I am putting it in my notes. Contact from fighting.
The Teruvian underground fighting pits. Yeah.
I had consolidated everybody's expenditures for week 1, but the only thing I didn't have here was Bell poison making. So is there anything that's coming out of the party inventory for that?
No, we didn't do the poison making yet.
Okay.
That was put on hold because Beldani is he's like Ocean's 11ing right now.
Right.
He's getting his crew together. Beldani has like a separate life where he's like planning heists apparently.
Don't they all?
All right, so let me do Beldani next, because you get to do your crime this week.
100 GP is what I earned?
Yes. 100 GP and that contact.
Yep, I got the contact written down.
All right. Let's see.
So far, I've made a net profit this week. I don't know what you guys are talking about, complaining about money.
You know what?
You know what, Donnie? All right. So let's see. Series of checks, Beldani. Chosen by the character. Profits sought. What profit are you seeking?
I've scoped out this house of the Lady Ivana Strock. Mm-hmm. She has a rare vase that is worth 1,000 GP that
I'll say Neil's in this with you. He's like, oh, we're doing this.
I know that we can sell to one of Neil's contacts. Neil's told me that it's worth about 1,000 gold, so that would set the DC, I think, at 25.
Mm-hmm. All right, so you're going for the big one. Okay. So I need 3 checks to stealth, thieves' tools, and investigation, all DC 25.
Holy shit.
Bell's gonna come back with this one. Damn, you go thieving.
Can I use deception instead of investigation?
I think you have to use investigation. I don't. Well, let me see. Let's see. Oh, I see. It's a player's choice. Sorry, my brain's fried a little. Investigation, perception, or deception. So you're going to use deception?
Yes.
All right. So then, yes.
Stealth check was only a 23, unfortunately.
Oh, all right. Give me a thieves' tools next.
And I'm going to use inspiration for this.
Okay. I need like stealthy music. Oh, that's a success. And I need a deception.
And I'm going to use the more inspiration for this, since my first roll was not so successful.
Alright, so 1 success. The heist fails, but you guys escape. So, unfortunately, during the heist, some things go wrong, and there is a nighttime cacophony of alarms and mercenaries running at you. The ladies' guards kind of catch you or see you in the middle, and you and Neil make a harrowing escape, managing to get away. Unfortunately, none the richer for your troubles. You may have overshot a little. But you don't get caught, which is the #1 rule of thieving. And yes. Neil says, that was a good try, buddy. It's a good try.
We can try again, perhaps something a little less conspicuous next time.
And the morning paper is filled with stories of the audacity of some criminal mastermind trying to rob the lady of her possessions, and everyone is kind of on the lookout, so you're kind of laying low. But they don't know exactly who you are, so you're okay for now. All right, so Ivor, second week, we know what you're doing, right?
Yes, specifically because you did say I could research these things in order of my choosing.
Yes. So it's up to you how you want to do them.
So I'll just copy and paste into my Discord with you. That is the thing that I would be looking at the second week.
Got it. Okay, yeah, no, that's fine. That's the 50 gold pieces to look into that. Does anyone have a passive investigation over 15?
Me, 19.
Alright, so Zalia, you would get a little suspicious hearing about some harrowing escape by a suspicious shadow elf attempting to rob one of the local ladies.
You hear where it says shirtless.
A shirtless assailant was seen fleeing the scene along with a shadow elf. You're like,
Indeed.
It was not Donnie, I assure you.
I was fighting in the pits. Wasn't me.
All right. Good to know. Good to know.
Sorry, Theo, you said something about what you were crafting. You wanted to make a change, or did I mishear that?
Oh, it's a cloak of protection.
Okay, so you got your stuff. The only events for the second week, Ivor, you can try to meet up with the woman, and I think Theo, you can meet with the Archmage if you want to. Or you can put that on hold for now, depending on when you want to schedule that.
I have to put it on hold, if I even have it.
Okay, so you're, we're waiting for now.
Why do you have to put it on hold?
Look, I give you all time to plan for whatever, because Theo just only messed up and got yelled at.
Yeah, you got yelled at. Absolutely.
Yeah, and he could definitely go have this meeting by himself.
Zelia stopped off, so there's definitely going to have to be interim conversations, but I do think we could set it up.
A messenger shows up with a piece of paper saying, can set it up.
So ridiculous. Ridiculously ridiculous. He's highly...
You are...
Will you
just
tell
went
Steve
into
that I
somebody
said
who's
to
dealing
Bob
with trauma
that
and
it's
yelled
me?
at him.
Well,
Ivor, let me know if you'd like me to join you when you meet with this woman about a tuning fork.
Certainly. I was sort of under the impression that we might pursue it as a group, but I suppose there necessarily isn't a need to do that. So if you'd like to go and speak with her, we could probably do that. This evening, if it's all right with you.
I'll look around and see that Neil is nowhere to be found. So
Neil's in hiding.
I seem to be free.
Quite so. Well, perhaps we shall go and speak with her then.
All right. So is it just you two going?
Seems to be.
All right. So
coaxing Theo out of his cave.
Neil is, as I said, currently kind of in hiding. But one of his... Go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, she was like, coax him out of hiding, but a lightning bolt's gonna go at the next person knock on the door.
Leave me alone!
We do have the name of one of his lieutenants.
Yeah.
I forget her name.
Although the Artisan Guild does not like when people throw lightning bolts around the hallways in there. It's frowned upon.
I believe that. I think...
There's a sign on the front warning.
I think Neil's lieutenant was maybe Savannah Nighthaven. Does that sound right? Because I don't think it was Shiva.
Well, Shiva is your contact. Did I give you the name?
Oh, no, that's right. No, the name that you gave me was her. Yep, you're right.
Yeah. I didn't really give Neil's contact a name. I just said he was a guy you were talking to.
Yeah. Yep.
But, yeah, or not Shiva. What was her name? I was just looking at it.
No, it
Shara.
was.
Shara Darkmane.
It was the same name as what's her name from?
Yes, it was Shara Darkmane is the night elf contact.
Yes.
So, and yes, it is the same character from the other game. So, yeah, the Neil's lieutenant would have a room set up, and you and Beldani would go there. And in the room, you would see a shadow elf waiting for you.
And is this is in the the Blood Hand?
Yeah, it's kind of in the speakeasy place.
Okay. Before we, assuming that we passed through the main bar area, I would take a quick second to ask Beldani, is there a particular beverage which Shadowkai that you know are in favor of?
Nothing in particular comes to mind. I don't very often see the shadow wine here in the prime material.
Very well.
I mean, you know that being elves, they often enjoy wine, like most elves do.
Okay. I know that, or Beldani knows that?
Beldani, you'd know that.
Okay.
So,
elves, in general, are more partial to wine than other drink.
I would grab
Pansy-asses that they are.
grab a bottle of wine.
Why you gotta hate on wine?
And
That's Donnie speaking, not Gray.
Suggest that we bring that to the meeting.
Very well.
Alright, so you bring in a bottle of wine. Do you want to pay for like a higher quality one?
Oh yeah, top shelf.
Alright, top shelf. We'll just say it goes towards your aristocratic lifestyle. Because you're paying the big bucks for your weekly endeavors. So I'll give you that. I'll give you the big wine here. So yeah, you go inside. As I said, the woman, Shara, is sitting at a table. Do either of you have nature?
I do not.
Alright, so you would notice she is dressed in what looks like some kind of dark, studded leather armor with several odd symbols sewn into it, embroidered, I guess would be the word. She would stand and give a bit of a nervous smile and say, hello. I heard you wish to speak with me about a fork for the Shadowfell?
What time of day is it?
We'll say it's evening.
Okay. I'll say, good evening. My name is Ivo. This is Beldani, and you are quite right. We are interested in just such an item. We thought perhaps you would know a little bit more about one, or perhaps might have one, or know where we could get one. It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance.
Yes, you as well. I am Shara, although I assume your friend already told you that.
Indeed.
And you are? Or did you say already and I missed it? Okay, so you said
he introduced us.
Alright, so she would smile and nod and say, I do actually have such a tuning fork. I'm not exactly willing to part with it, though. I do have an offer to make you. I'm currently stuck here, and I'm looking to get back to the Shadowfell. If you can help me find someone who can get me back, I will bring you along and bring the tuning fork as well, and I will give it to you at the end of the transaction.
So just to interject, you know that I don't have this spell yet.
But you are currently...
I'm working.
Okay, yeah. So I'll reply and I'll say, it just so happens that we do travel with a very accomplished wizard who is, shall we say, on the verge of a breakthrough. And once she has said breakthrough, we will be using her magics to get there ourselves, and we could easily take you with us.
That would be excellent, and you could use my tuning fork as part of the travel, and as I said at the end of it, I could just give it to you as payment.
Very well. As we're speaking, I'd kind of like just to get a beat on her, I guess generally. I mean, she hasn't said anything necessarily that seems concerning, but I just kind of, as I'm putting this offer on the table, want to understand whether or not I think she's trustworthy or sketchy.
Give me, I guess, insight or perception. Either one could tell you some things about her.
They are both garbage.
Okay, so she definitely seems nervous. You don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but she also seems like someone who holds herself the way someone trained in martial combat would. And she is carrying weaponry and armor that look like they could be high quality, possibly magical. So even though she looks kind of maybe a little bit timid and nervous, you get the feeling she does have some mercenary training. Possibly, yeah, it's hard to say exactly what that is, especially without knowledge nature. But yeah, you don't think she's as I guess, innocent as she looks.
I will turn to her and to say, if I may ask, be so bold to ask, how did you find yourself here in the prime material? My father, brother, and I traveled here when I was very young, but I am always curious to know how others have found their way to this plane.
So again, she looks a little nervous and says, I actually was hired by some people with people in the Shadowfell to come here to help track down someone. Unfortunately, in doing so, the people I came here with were killed. I survived, but I have no way of getting home, and I've been stuck here for several years now.
No, as Ivor has said, we do have a friend who, well, really any day now I think should have a breakthrough.
That would be most excellent. Why is it that you all seek to go to the Shadowfell? It's not a place that most people go willingly.
I will I will cheekishly.
Do you look like a demon right now, or with your natural form, or do you have your disguise on?
Well, I do typically walk around with it, but I know that there is I think we established that it was a dispel magic wall and not an anti-magic field, because there were places inside that I couldn't talk to Tinder, but there were places inside that I could. So yeah. I would have walked through it and probably left it off. So I probably.
Okay, so you do look like a tiefling. Okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I will respond with like a real thick, cheekish, I guess you would call it sarcasm. And I'll say, well, we're going there to save the world, of course.
She laughs. She says, save the world.
Quite right. You know, demons,
he doesn't
devils,
lie.
Shadowlords.
Whatnot.
Do you say Shadowlords?
Yeah.
So her expression immediately goes serious, and she says, what did you say?
I will... As she goes serious, I will also go serious. And I'll say, pardon the callous approach. I did not expect you to be familiar. I did say Shadowlords.
She says, oh, many of my people are familiar with the Shadowlords. They have created quite a bit of havoc within my plane of existence, both through their cultists and through their actions. But as far as I know, the Shadowlords have been trapped for thousands of years.
Does she...
Unfortunately, I'm not sure that is the case. There have been at least aspects of them that have been able to affect things here and quite possibly there.
Does she seem honest when she expresses a not a concern, but like a disbelief that they're a current threat? Like when she says, "Oh my gosh, they have been out of the picture for 1,000 years."
I mean, you can give an insight check. Yeah, you think she's being honest. She seemed like a genuine reaction.
Sure. Okay.
So she says, "Are you certain of what you say?" The cultists of the Shadowlords have existed within my realm for quite some time, but as far as we knew, the Shadowlords had been entrapped within Gaian.
As I said, I think at least an aspect of them has been able to return. We have fought once already.
Well, then it is... go ahead.
But it seems that it was just a temporary setback and not a final defeat.
Well, if that is the case, then it is extra important that I return and spread this news to the people of the
I just casually made a contact with the Shatterkai Underground.
I don't have the name here. The people of my empire. She says, "This is exceedingly bad news. But you say you were able to stand toe to toe with one of the Shadowlords?"
Yes. at least in the form he appeared when we encountered him. Certainly not just the two of us on our own.
Well, truth be told, this was just before my time, as it were. I have no personal experience with them.
But Ivor, you've been an invaluable member of the group. I'm sure you must have heard of us. Tabula Rasa and the Table Smasher.
Rolls right off the tongue.
She says, no, I have not heard of your group, but if you would be willing, there are people within the Shadowfell, I think, who would want to speak with you. This is grave news for sure, and you might offer some insight as to how best to confront one of these beings.
I think we'd be happy to have that conversation, but first, we need to make it there. Do you have the fork? Hopefully soon we will have the magical means, and...
She says, yes, I do have the fork, and I am ready to bring it to you as soon as you all are ready to go. And she gives you some information as to where she is, and she says, how long do you think you need to get this spell ready?
Truth be told, I don't believe we're quite certain. I think that, well, from my point of view, the intricacies of planar travel are something of a... And I'll make just that over-the-head motion with my right hand. I'll say, it's a bunch of numbers and geometry and shit that I don't care to think about. It makes my head hurt. But as soon as we have come to that point, we will be quite quick to let you know.
All right. Well, until that... go ahead.
I'd say it could be a matter of weeks, it could be a matter of months, but...
I hope not. Well,
I hope it will be soon.
Yes, it is what it is. Obviously, we don't have a better option right now. But until that time, I would be happy to help you in any way I can. I have talent in druidic arts, as well as knowledge of nature of the Shadowfell. So I could help guide you once we get there. And if there's anything I can do for you while we're here, I would be happy to help in any way I can to expedite the process of getting us back.
Very well.
I think that sounds quite a good deal. Perhaps later on next week you can join the entire group of us for dinner.
And she says, excellent. I would like that. I would like to meet the rest of you. And yeah, so she would give you information on where she's staying and say, come get me, come and speak to me whenever. I would be happy to help out you and your group.
Is she staying like in the warehouse district, I would assume?
Yeah, so she's kind of staying in the city at some of the lower class inns.
Okay.
So she's yeah, she kind of gives you one of the inn names where she's going to be. Probably the inn name. She's probably not traveling around. And yeah, she would conclude the meeting unless you want to stay and talk and drink wine for a bit.
Well, yeah, just to sort of establish a rapport.
All right, sure. So maybe you talk with her a bit, discuss maybe some small talk about who you all are without revealing too much.
Yeah.
And then go your separate ways.
Works for me.
Yes.
All right.
So with these two, no.
Yeah. All right. So let's say another week passes. So it is now the 61st of fall. Go ahead and spend another week, either the 4 or the 10 of your upkeeps. And this might be a good stopping point as we go into the third week. I am curious what you all think of this style. Like, was it boring? Did you have fun?
It was not boring.
Okay, good. Because it was... Yeah, does anyone have opinions on that? Like, does anyone think it was more boring? Did you like kind of the other way I was doing it better?
I enjoyed this system because it allows time to pass at a moderate rate, which is valuable because people who don't have like short-term projects can just say, yeah, I want to spend the week doing this thing, like, in my case, research. But people who do have very specific amounts of time that they need to do things like crafting can also do those things. So it kind of allows you to do what you want to do without the slog of day by day time.
Yeah, and I think once I kind of got the hang of it, I feel like I was enjoying it more because I kind of knew what I was doing as we went week by week. I guess the only issue is that there is like kind of a lot of camera shifting, like as we go from person to person. So as long as no one's getting too bored by that, because we're not doing team things like combat or, like making a bunch of rolls together.
Sure. Yeah, Speaking for my... Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to say that my feedback there was, I don't mind it for a session or two, and I do like the weekly format, and there's enough to do. I was definitely fine today, and no problems whatsoever. I definitely could see if we did, 2 or 3 sessions of this, then I would start to get bored with just crafting and
yeah, and I think like our plan I think is to do the 5 weeks, and then we're probably... Are we going to Beviandas next, or are we traveling into the mountains?
We're going to teleport to the villa and then travel north into the mountains from there.
Yeah, so I imagine next week is probably going to wrap up the crafting and probably get us into the villa and towards the mountains, into the new quest. But I don't foresee this going for like 3 or 4 weeks like this.
And like I said, I am totally okay with both last week and this week. That was just more broadly speaking feedback.
Yeah, no, that's it's definitely good feedback. Because
I think this is definitely... I think it's a good system for downtime at any level. I think this is something that is very appropriate for where we're at, and I think if there was like any other time in the campaign previously where it would have made sense for downtime and you weren't really sure of how to do it, I think that this could be utilized for that as well. Like if you have some, I don't know, like a lower level, like some trouble at Char folks who want to do some shit and don't have pressing things to do.
And I think as long as I make sure they know about the option, it would be good, because I think a lot of people don't assume that downtime is an option. So I might just have to make it more obvious. But yeah, okay. As long as you all were enjoying it, then that was my main concern.
Just one question I had as kind of a bookkeeping thing. How many days are in each of the seasons? Because I know we're on the 61st of fall, but are we in a 365-day-a-year calendar?
Yeah, so it's 365. It's at least... It's between, like, I think 90 and 92. I haven't figured out the exact number, so I should definitely figure that out and record it. But, yeah, it's about 90 days per season.
Okay. So we've got another 30-ish days of fall before things start to get really chilly.
And then it starts getting into winter.
Yeah, getting winter clothing is one thing we need to do before we leave town.
Be good to have. And birthdays. You all need birthdays. We'll roleplay the birthday party. It's happening. It's a whole session. We're doing Theo's birthday party.
You need to give us a calendar, Lou, before we can pick birthdays. Otherwise, we may pick birthdays that aren't real.
Well, one of the things that I think was in that magic item list was a potion of vitality or something like that causes you to de-age. There was some element of interesting, like...
I'm telling you, Donnie went on some fantastical journey into a magical item place that he'll never find again.
Yeah.
It was in
genuinely
shocking the amount of like valuable stuff on that list.
That you can't afford.
Deck of many things, whatever. D&D, you're just giving away magical items. Someone's selling decks of many things. All right. Anyway, sorry.
Yeah, their random magic tables have some crazy things on there.
Yeah. It's like, what? You can buy a deck of many things. It's bullshit. This is bullshit.
There's Donnie.
Hey, if you have enough to buy a legendary item.
I don't think most people would have a deck of many things just lying around their castle. But anyway, that's fine. MVP votes. Let's see. I got 2, 3. It was definitely an interesting rule set. So it's a tie between Theo and Ivor. So I need D20 rolls.
Hang on, click the wrong
I
button.
like the idea of Donnie starting his own wrestling league. All right, so Theo, you are MVP. Congrats.
Thank you.
Congrats.
Yeah, and I will take some notes, but you're all free to take off for the evening. I'm glad you had fun. And any more feedback, I would love to have it. Whenever I have new rule systems, I love to hear what players think, because it's hard for me to get a good read on this kind of stuff from the DM side of the screen.
So Betha has an exquisitely beautiful new pouch hanging from her belt, and she's walking a bit more lightly, a little less of a hunch to her figure, carrying her stuff.
Now we just got to get her.
We just need to get her like one of those scooters.
I was thinking of giving her the potions of vitality. She has the artwork for a de-aged Betha.
He does.
She can be...
And did you say so week 2 objectives have been met?
Yeah, so we passed another 7 days. So we are on week 3 starting next game.
Yeah, we'll pick up 61st of fall in the morning, beginning of week 3.
Perfect.
Ivor wakes up with a package at his room with
I gotta
a
go,
rod
folks. Have a nice evening.
Yeah,
night,
have a nice
All
evening.
right. Good night, Gray.
wrapped up in a cloak. You have a cloak of protection and your rod.
Very well. I'm
Yeah,
very excited.
you did well this session, sir.
Well, one of them is gonna take some weeks. One, it'll depend on the. Well, I guess you would. I'll take it. We'll figure it out later.
Well, I'm pretty sure you and Z were the ones actually requesting cloaks of protection, right?
Yep.
It
Still,
was on my list. It depends. I have a limitation now, so we'll see.
If you don't need it, you can give it to Donnie or Betha.
Perfect. That's what I was thinking. I'm very excited to have it for the moment.
Belle already has one.
I still like the idea of Beldani doing Ocean's 11 in like his off time. I'd watch that movie.
David,
him and Neil, yeah.
If there's ever a week that I'm not crafting, definitely down to help you steal some shit. If I can get some mithril, like chess piece or something, advantage with stealth.
I'm gonna assemble a team. We're gonna get that vase. Just wait. Just wait, lady. What's your name?
Particularly good party for a heist, I will say.
I mean, you could probably do a whole game around a heist. I mean, they have modules like that, but yeah.
Fucking Waterdeep?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
If Belle ever wants to lead a very big heist, I'm definitely down to run a module.
We're gonna take a break from saving the world and just steal some shit.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna steal from the Shadowlords. They probably got a castle or something with decrepit ruins. Find whatever they treasure the most and yoink.
Steal
Donnie definitely has a little bit of a Robin Hood complex.
That's wonderful.
That was close. You almost got it. That was really aiming high, though. 25. Wow. If you'd gone for the 20, you would have gotten it.
I think it's impossible for him to fail at 20.
It is impossible for me to fail a 20.
On all 3 of those rolls?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
My deception minimum is 20.
So, with those rolls being rolls for that evening's happenings and stuff, can Flash of Genius work? Seeing so he's actually having a lockpick and do a stealth check and stuff.
For something,
I think it's like an all-night thing.
Yeah, for something broad like that, it would probably more be just the rolls for the night. So there isn't probably a way to buff those.
Other than
maybe
enhanceability if it was only an hour thing. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe enhanceability if.
Next time you want to steal some shit, let the very, very good aligned wizard know about it.
You're like, hey, do you want to help me rob some people? I don't think she'd be very happy with that.
I mean, if you can give me a really good reason why you need to do it.
Straight up, Neil and I have a date plan. Can you give me enhanceability to help out?
Yeah, but then she's gonna give you she's gonna give you bull's endurance, and you're like, that's not
Go get him, Tiger.
we like to we play it a little differently. We do games. We do cat and mouse.
We use our thieves' tools. Don't ask. Whoa.
Oh, please,
This is not fair. It's too easy to make me blush.
You saw me dance. Don't give me the endurance.
Lou, I did have a cool so at the end of week 1, Professor, you got legend lore accomplished, right?
I did. So.
Is there well, I don't know.
Not a downtime to cast that to identify a couple things.
No, yeah, I was gonna say I know we're over time, but if we have a quick sec, Lou, to identify what the Ring of Warmth from the temple
I
is,
would do that.
super
Probably
curious
as
about that.
Ivor and I were walking away. From
Let's mention that in the chat, and I'll get back to that. Do you need to expend something for legend lore? Isn't there like an ingredient that you have to use that goes away?
250 gold's worth of incense.
Yeah, which I have.
We have that.
Yeah. I just
the ivory strips, but those are not consumed.
Also, my brain is kind of a little fried right now.
I'm rolling in incense right now.
So wait,
as soon as Theo came in, he was like, "You get all the incense."
So wait, what happened in the first week of downtime? We had the meeting with Cornelius. What was the other thing?
Azalea got on the Theo.
That was the second week, I thought.
The meeting. Oh, the second week was the meeting with Shara. In the first week, I did all my spell scrolling.
Not the downtime stuff, just the story. Like we had Cornelius, and what was the other thing that happened?
The Shadow Kai.
Oh, that was
the second week.
That was the second week. Sorry.
Did Donnie?
No,
that was. Go ahead. Sorry.
The first week was Donnie searching for magic items.
Yeah, that was downtime too, though. I more meant just the story stuff.
The story stuff is just Cornelius the first week, and then Shara the second week.
Yeah, and the argument and.
Yes.
We would have gotten the tuning fork for the Primaterial plane the first week as well, because Bevianda had that for me.
Also, other story-wise, Daniel, at the beginning of the second week, Daniel came and brought the Goggles of Night.
Oh, Daniel, that's the other one. I think that was the first week.
Damn,
That was
Daniel.
the one I was thinking of.
I still love Z's yelling at Theo for being honest. He's like, "It's religious doctrine." Shit. Can't be as about it.
Okay, yeah, and the second week was the argument with Theo and the meeting with Shara, were the two storyline things.
I just love it. Open the door, you see Theo clearly in distress. You fucker!
Wow. There's some disagreements on how
more
things
than
should
enough
be.
distress to go around, my friend.
Theo has a trump card. I was almost a zombie.
True.
Yeah, well.
That trauma. And tell me if I'm going too far somebotaging things with the trauma. I am trying to play. He had an experience that he is trying to deal with.
No, I thought it was really well played.
As long as you're not getting upset by it out of character.
No, he will. No, I get upset about having short train time.
Alright.
No, it's in character stuff. But he will be curmudgeon-y and probably more confrontational than normal with the whole, I'm trying to deal with shit. You already let me deal with shit. I also don't want to talk about that I'm dealing with shit.
Yeah.
Read my mind!
Yeah, well, you're in a third rail here with Azalea too, so it's all good.
Oh, he's already given your name to the gate to not let you in again.
Yeah, I know. It's a problem. You're gonna get my demon boyfriend arrested, so...
Excuse me, you're what?
Devil boyfriend, sorry.
I'm fucking out of here. This is... I don't even know.
How dare you? How dare you, ma'am?
Oh, and Theo was straight up on the whole satyr, like caught up on it, being like, I'm trying to fix the problem I caused by being me.
That was good.